Greetings and welcome once again to Roman of the Empire. I am your host, Roman. Tonight we have a very special show. I've been wanting to do this one for a long time, and we finally have gotten here. We're going to be talking about the 1994 film, The Crow. It is a personal favorite of mine. I saw it in theaters back in 1994 when it came out. I was actually on some form of deployment, but we were in port and I got to go see it, and it really made an impression on me. I love the many themes of The Crow: love, vengeance, friendship, and redemption. I mean, we could probably throw a few more on top of that, but it's not a single plain film. So I'm excited to talk about this. So, oops, we do have someone else hiding on the bottom here.
They have hidden themselves.
Good evening. Hey, everybody. Hello. Sorry I'm
right
late.
On.
No.
Hello,
sir.
We just walked through the door.
Thank you for having me back.
Walking through the door? You mean busted through the door?
Like Elliot fucking Ness. So,
or the guy that helped him,
around.
the Scottish guy.
So we have a very diverse panel tonight. It's very exciting. We have two girls and a Scottish guy, and a Sicilian and a criminal.
Representation.
The two girls still outweigh me by just some distance, I'd say, in terms of intellect and presence. But you know.
So let's go around and do introductions. He is the nemesis of the Dark Knight, the scourge of Gotham, the man who always brings a smile to your face. He is Joker Voice. Welcome back to the show, my friend. How are you?
Hello, and what a panel we're on today. Big fan of this guy right here. It's the accent. It's sexy as fuck, I'm just saying. And I am so glad.
Thank you.
I am so glad that I'm on top of the lady Elfire.
There had to be a better way to say that.
Nope. Really, there wasn't. And anytime I am reunited with my sister, it's always a good time.
That was a band, the Scissor Sisters.
We go back to the days of The Last of Us for that reference. If you weren't with us, I feel better for you than I do for me because I've been through all.
And it will never die. This is
it will never die.
I mean, I didn't even watch that with you guys, but it's like I've seen it in so many other properties that we all just kind of know about that.
Yeah.
And the ginger side. Hashtag Ginger Lives Matter.
Yes.
She is the proper member of the Mando clan. She, unlike Pedro Pascal, actually plays her part. Not a voice actor. She is the Untamed Mando. Welcome to the show, Mando. It's nice to have you back.
It is nice to be back. It's nice to be back. I shall do some cheers. Yes, you're welcome. It's nice to be back. Hopefully we also don't yeet everyone else out of the stream and only leave me to drive the stream. Granted, that was only one time, but it will always be the most memorable time I've been on your channel was when I had to drive the stream by myself.
Things improved radically from that point onwards.
Our first live stream, everything just went completely bonkers. I think we're. Are they doing stuff down in Dallas tonight?
Yes, the Dallas meetup is this weekend. I didn't get to go because I have a new job, and they're like, actually, you just started. You can't leave yet.
So catch us on the rewatch because everybody's out of town. So he is the man from the past, saving the future. He is ThatSeventiesRockFan. Welcome back to the show, my friend.
Thank you for having me. I'm obviously I didn't do so bad a job last time that you didn't want me back, so I appreciate that. Appreciate the support.
No, I'm really happy you could be here. I know it's scheduling. Yeah. So I'm happy you could be here for this one.
Theoretically, I was meant to be in Dallas this week as well, but for various reasons, like my back, I couldn't go. I canceled going. So
next year,
you're stuck with me.
So instead, you are spending your time with me, which is not an upgrade. But everybody else on the panel, I would definitely say is pretty good.
It's
pretty good.
I'd have to say it's a lot cheaper than going to Dallas.
there
So,
you
By a lot, I would say.
So,
but yeah, next time. I'm happy to hang out with you guys. Thank you for having me.
So the 70s, does that so 70s, does that mean the next time we have a meetup in my town, good old Las Vegas, that you'll be showing up?
I am convinced that I will be able to do that one, yes, because things that have prevented me from going this time might be sorted. So,
good. I hope so, because I'll be in Vegas next year as well.
Yeah,
I will try to be in Vegas next year.
I'm back on the Vegas train, so
I would love to do that one, and yes, absolutely, that's strong possibility. So
nice,
right on.
Viva, Las Vegas.
Hell no. Where's it?
Oh God. So this is her first time on the panel of the Empire. Her opinions are so hot, they're on fire. She is Lady Balefire. Welcome to the show, Lady B.
I'm excited to be here. It's like, I think a lot of you guys, like, I've been in your chats or you've been in my chats on Zach's show and stuff. And it's cool to meet people on panels. So I'm excited, and I like talking about movies. So
apologize ahead of time.
Yeah, I'm stoked to be on a panel with you because we've been in chats many times, but I don't know if I don't think I've done it
right now.
Yeah.
All right. So he good ego. Ego's sneaking in.
Oh, Ego.
You know. He's just like,
here we go.
He goes like, the show is like midway through.
Come on.
Oh, I was late.
Sorry, I am late, guys. I was trying to sneak in like Roman says, and I got busted.
And we had a theme going there. And you have that yellow t-shirt. We all these dark colored t-shirts on. You had yellow.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's wearing black.
We're still going around doing introductions.
I clearly did not. Is it too late to say that I had never seen The Crow before you told me that we were gonna do this stream?
That's it. We're out of here. That's it.
Yeah,
that's right. Neither lady.
Really why I missed
it now until recently.
Compels you.
No, I was like
children today.
It was because I was home. It was because I was homeschooled. Okay, like if y'all, they had what was it? They were calling it what night? Or the Devil's Night? Well, like we had Hallelujah Night. Like that was a real thing because everyone saw.
Bet you watched a lot of Veggie Tales too.
Veggie Tales, Gerbert, McGee, and me, like the whole thing. Yeah, so.
I don't even know what to do with this now. I don't know what a Veggie Tale is. I know I don't want to eat it.
Just consider me Ernie Hudson in the movie, man. I'm walking into the whole thing.
Wow, nice. I like it.
I don't know what you're talking about. Silly Songs with Larry is my jam, man.
That's true. Larry Boy was awesome too.
Now I don't know what we're talking about again. So making our way around. So he is the man who knows all the things about all the things. The Skull Matt Boy. That's a comic book reference. If you haven't.
I don't know if I'm pointing the
right.
right
Unbearable
direction.
73. The Thad shouldn't be. Welcome back to the show, my friend. How are you this evening?
I am armed and ready to go. Tonight for Roman, just for Roman. I am a female Tyrannosaurus Rex, bringing all the inclusion Roman needs. No one else needs to include anything. My pronouns are foobar.
Right, is that foo and bar
and raffle stomp? Those are my pronouns.
We have all of the representation. We have met the quota today. Huzzah, huzzah all.
Well, you've got the section of the pop. You've got the aged
in the movie version of this. I want to be played by Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Can I be played by Jessica Jones?
Oh, God damn it.
Kristen Ritter?
Roman would be Al Pacino. That's who was born to play Roman.
Roman, do you ever expect to have control of the panel when we're all here together?
No. In fact, I do not. Oh, Zax is out there now. Hello, Zax. Welcome to the chaos. We are still going around our introductions. His cycloptic vision does not prevent him from seeing all the things. He is LeftEyeE.G.O. Welcome to the panel again, my friend.
Thank you, guys. I am glad and excited to be here. I got to watch a movie that didn't know I hadn't seen, and now I get to participate in this discussion. I'm ready to go.
this is pretty exciting. So we have two panel members who had not seen the film. And I'm going to ask you guys, just give me like your 30-second, I liked it or didn't like it because. And you, like I said, I don't want a lot of detail. Just throw it out. So, Lady B, I'm going to hit you first. What did you think?
That's rude.
You know what? I gotta say, it's like I like the film for its obvious influences and what they were trying to do as just a straight up story. I just really didn't enjoy it that much.
And it was nice having Lady B with us this time. Zach.
No.
Okay, fanboying now off the list.
Well, I'm
No,
gonna
and you know what?
explain this later on. So
No, yeah, we'll get into it later, and that's fine. As a man who takes a beating for my perspective,
For pleasure, a beating for pleasure.
arguably the worst
That cost
film
extra.
ever, The Fifth Element. I take a lot of hits for that. So everybody likes something different. You've chosen not to like a wonderful thing, and that's okay though. So Ego, what were your thoughts as the Veggie Tales member of the panel?
Well played. I kind of miss movies like that. You're thrown into the entire movie. You don't really ask questions. You just kind of go with it. It happens in one night. A year from the date something bad happens. It all happens in one night, and everyone's kind of like Ernie Hudson. And you're like, is he your ghost? Something came back. Oh, okay, sure. I'm having a beer with a guy that may or may not be a ghost. He may or may not be a crow. All right, cool. We're just gonna go with it. I kind of miss movies like that. There wasn't a lot of exposition, which, you know, I'm surprised that we don't go back to that because you could skip over a lot of, you cut runtime in half of movies, and you know, you could actually get a lot done.
And that's actually Ego. You bring up one of the points. That's one of the many things I like about this movie. Is I didn't really need to know fuck all about Shelley and Eric other than that much, which is what I got. I didn't need to know Top Dollar's motivations. He's the bad guy. He's doing bad shit. Cool.
I mean, you could tell he's a psychopath. Like, that was very easy to figure out.
What's that supposed to mean? You did bring a smile to my face. So, well, I
there you go, 70s. There you go.
I need a black scratcher now.
So I got back scratch fever.
Oh God!
Left my back scratcher.
It's a crow bar. It's a crow bar.
Crow.
Oh,
there you go.
That was the nightclub.
like
It was
that.
a crowbar. Yeah.
So I'm gonna start rolling through the picks, and we don't need to dive. We're gonna just kind of roll with it. We can talk about the opening as we go through this. What happened? Did something bad happen? Did I miss something? I'm old. I missed exactly. I got
Zach was making a comment about the time that I met like Chris Gore and some other people in Mexican Iron Man, and it was really funny because I was like in the middle and they were all around me.
Mikey. Did Mikey jump out of a window straight after that meeting?
Right.
No, but I heard the whole story of that.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord. Oh no.
Kind of a slight case of death. Yes. The lines in this are very good. So we start, opening credits, Brandon Lee, The Crow, and Devil's Night. And this is where we get that wonderful narration.
From Sarah.
I should have a,
That's
I
my
love the
birthday, by the
CGI
way.
fire.
Okay, so
Oh,
I don't know if it's in other parts of the country, but we do have Mischief Night on October 30th in the East Coast, where you do.
Yeah,
where
it's true.
In certain parts, you do actually do very violent things, depending on where exactly you live. So.
Yeah, that kind of remind me of the opening of Blade Runner, like the skyline and the fires.
just going over the landscape. And actually, I thought and these are obviously all miniatures, but it looks really cool.
Yeah, I really like that.
this-
We don't like nobody makes
nice-
miniatures like that anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, right off
it's
the bat.
very steampunk.
Yeah, and
Yes.
it's visually
It's very
striking.
gothic. It's very
Well,
gothic.
Haunting.
And then
visually striking.
and then just honing in on the one window and just getting closer until you're inside the building. I love it.
That was cool.
As a pretty just like
And
straight shot. It's
This
fucking-
movie was also prophetic because Detroit is just like that now.
Mhm.
Well, apart from the fact there is no lighting at all in Detroit anymore. Like,
Seriously.
Not even
You know
red
what's
ones.
really great about this opening that I really liked is it immediately sets up like a color palette. Like I don't know if they were trying to look like the comic. I've never read the comic before, but it gives you a very like it's a visual representation, and all of the set decoration and everything is really consistent with this like sort of like pseudo Victorian rundown city look. And I really enjoyed the set decoration and the lighting. Like they were really cool with the like kind of black and white things.
Yes.
And
Yeah. When somebody mentioned steampunk, and that
cool.
I hadn't thought about it really till now, but that is a very steampunk look, and we've had games like Dishonored and so on since that have aped this look a lot.
Yeah,
I don't see steampunk because steampunk is a lot of earth tones and a lot of gears and actual steam, the mechanisms. This is very gothic, has a more of a vampire feel to it. The blacks,
like the early late 80s, early 90s, like kind of.
Well, Alex Proyas, before doing this film, all he had done is music videos. That's it. He was a music video director, and then
that explains
he ended up with this, and it does explains a lot about the look, the feel,
and the soundtrack.
This fucking soundtrack is incredible. Actually, I bought
the
it on
soundtrack
vinyl
freaking
about
slaps. I love it.
Yeah, the look, he took that look into Dark City, and Dark City's got a similar
we are
feel.
Going to be. You bring that up. We are going to be talking about Dark City on the 29th. We're going to be revisiting his. That was his next movie after this. He had a gap of doing shorts for about 4 years, and then he did Dark City. I mean, just two visually amazing things. And I love literally. So we're in the room now. This is Shelley on the floor getting attended to by the physicians. We don't really know what's happened at this point. We've just come into the room. And this is it's a little bit weird. These shots are some of the most colorful in the movie. The rest of the movie is very muted tones, except when we get to the memory parts, and we'll talk about that when we get to those.
Roman, if I could interject, the comic is black and white. They do capture the sort of imagery he draws, like with the movie, fairly well.
Here, Matt, I'm going to blow you up for just a sec here so people can see that.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, the artwork in the comic has slight distortions for the some aspects of the imagery, but in general, that he captures the tone of what Albar did. With especially like you said, when it gets darker and there's less color palette, less choice of the color, I think it's like he was trying to get to the sort of aesthetic Albar did with the black and white. By use of shadows, that's the thing. By use of shadows to blend out a lot of color.
Yeah, very noir there.
Yeah.
The look. I mean, the dialogue is it's fine. Some of it is a little hokey. But quite honestly, largely it's just a visual piece. Me personally, I can get past some of the clunky dialogue just because everything else, the tone, the story, and the shots are so well done.
I like how even though there are some quote unquote goofy bits about the movie, it takes itself very seriously, but not to the point where it's too much. It still has very slight humor, so it kind of like alleviates some of that really intense stuff,
dark stuff.
Yeah, because
it's funny because it's not really a superhero movie. It is, but it's a revenge story, is what it is. It's a supernatural revenge story.
Point about it not being necessarily a sort of heavy movie. Brandon Lee's portrayal of the character portrays him as quite sweet. He was obviously a sweet, warm guy, and that still comes through even in his present state in the movie. It's. I think that lightens it a lot. His character is really nice.
Yes.
He's a nice guy. You can tell he was a nice guy.
Yeah. The memory scenes of Eric it's night and day from Eric, the Spirit of Vengeance.
Yeah. But even as
even in the Spirit of Vengeance, he's very kind to Officer Albrecht and to Sarah, who he comes in contact with again.
And
So
I think a lot
get
of that is the portrayal by Brandon Lee, that his acting was superb.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, this was the night before their wedding that they both got killed. So this was October 30th. They were getting married on Halloween. And the line, I love the line from the cop. He's looking at the wedding dress.
Who gets married on
Halloween anyway?
Well, isn't that asking for trouble, getting married on Halloween?
It would seem so.
Just asking for stuff to happen.
Well, they come from that's their that's Shelley especially. That's their culture.
Right.
I get married on Halloween if I wasn't born the day before. Like,
and I know that some folks have said that the dialogue was hokey and whatnot. I completely disagree. I thought the dialogue from start till the end was very smart. It was consistent with every character. And for me, there are very few films that at the time it was made is a near perfect film.
Yeah, and to Ego's point and your point, that it's perfect because there's nothing extra in it that's not required. Nowadays, movies everybody would have their 10 minutes of exposition. Don't do that in this movie.
Well,
which is great.
And like I said, that's one of the big selling points for me on this Rock Fan is it doesn't go into added bullshit that I don't care about.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah.
That's very refreshing.
Predator. I didn't give a fuck about where Predator came from. I didn't need his backstory. He went to.
I don't need a tragic backstory.
I don't need more of the tragic backstory. Just the snippets that we got were fine.
That was just
exactly
enough.
And that is also consistent with the established skill set that Eric has, seeing the past and seeing past hurt, seeing past pain. So that is actually a perfect way to get those visual exposition dumps.
Yes, and that's the visually is always
visual exposition. That's cool. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
And one of the things they couldn't do because he died, and this is part of our directing, is after you get the film visually done, you'll go back with the soundtrack and the score and the dialogue and time them a little better, maybe change a word, replace a 6-syllable word with a 4-syllable word or whatever, just to make it the pacing. And obviously, with Brandon Lee passed away, they couldn't do any of that.
I have a question about that because I don't know that much about that part of the movie. Had they finished most of photography when he died?
Virtually all of it.
Most of it.
The film parts, I think they had done 80 to 85%, and that's why, like you see on the Skull Matt Boy, the Skull Cowboy scenes are out because Brandon Lee couldn't film any of those scenes, basically. So they had to use the little girl talkovers for.
And quite honestly, Matt, I mean, I granted it was fucking horrible and tragic, but as far as the way they were able to make it work, I think it worked beautifully.
I love the movie. I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just providing the information so from the production point of view,
So Skull Cowboy in the comic kind of helps keep him on track, keep him on mission, so to speak. And so you don't have that. And I think they used I just watched it a couple days ago myself. The Crow itself seems to have taken on a lot of that role as well because it guides him to things. It shows the things he needs to see.
Yeah. Also, do you remember when the woman, the sorceress, says the Crow is his weakness and all that? That's something the audience learns from the Skull Cowboy normally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Explains that. Okay.
Like at the end when he goes to rescue Sarah, this, in the comic, the Skull Cowboy goes, "If you go, your mission's over. You got justice for Shelley, so to speak." I'm paraphrasing. If you go after Sarah, you're mortal now. The protection is gone.
Right.
And he goes, "You're all alone. If you go," and Eric goes, "I've been alone from the beginning on this." It's a very great moment in the comic that they could. I mean, it sucked that Brandon Lee died in general, but that's just the way to say it.
Yeah, I mean, he had a lot of potential and a lot of charm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad.
So before we dive too far, fuck, even work.
In the deep
Words
end.
are hard.
Let's
Words
take
are
a look-
hard.
Let's take a look at the chat real fast. See
You
who's
just
out
can't
there.
speak England
Yeah,
very
let's
well,
go
can you?
Nas.
We got our good nearly departed friend Nosferatu,
Oh, we
the
love
all-powerful shoulder-thrusting Zax.
Dude,
Some
The
subtle
gun show.
deviancy who was
right?
currently
Last
in
night,
Twitter
dude. he
jail,
was-
and I'm
Shoulder
sorry about
thrusting?
that. It's not a good phrase. I'm not going to say it is. Jacob
What's up,
Ironside,
Jacob?
Defend yourself.
Um,
Defend yourself.
my good friend Tom from Tom's Tinkering and Adventures,
That's right.
Mrs. Cannoli Sasquatch, who we love very much.
Spice it up, lady. Spice it up.
I think that's
More
everyone
women representation.
currently out there right now. And
Logical Spock.
for
Logical
those of you,
Spock.
Logical Spock is here as well. Welcome, Logical Spock. For those of you who haven't checked out her channel yet, Mrs. Cannoli Sasquatch just got up and running, maybe a week or so ago. So go check that out and sub. So that's your plug, Mrs. C. You now have to visit us here in SoCal. So I love the relationship between Albra and Sarah.
Yeah,
You-
that
I
was
mean,
nice.
It's not super deep, but when they take Shelly off, he's kind of just left holding the bag with this kid. He thinks that it was her sister. She explains it wasn't, and now he's just like, fuck. What do I do here? And then this is the last scene of the opening.
Correct.
And then we go to a year later, and
I'll be
now-
honest, I thought he was actually going to adopt her and take her in.
I did too. I really was thought they were going that way.
I
That
wasn't
would've
really
been
sure,
too-
but
too happy an ending for a movie like this.
He already had 12 girls
Fair.
and like that in his house, so he couldn't take any more.
Oh my!
I really like the
Oh
crow in
my.
this movie.
Yes.
I love crows. Crows are so fun and they're so smart, and like I really wish I could befriend a crow, but because I have squirrels and chickens in my yard, like
Squirrel.
yeah.
Crows would cause a problem.
Yeah, probably not with the chickens, but like the stuff they like to eat or the stuff the squirrels eat. And, yeah.
So we have Sarah visiting the graves of Eric and Shelley, and she leaves at just the right moment. The crow flies in. What are you, the night watchman? And he's like, "Yeah, fuck off. I got shit to do." And then
Now we see a cop eating, which is not. It's very unusual to see a cop eating in anything.
Thank you, Copa. So Copa thinks now that I've shaved my beard off, I look like Higgins from Magnum PI.
Green beard.
I was just wondering that, actually.
So I feel the need to disclose this because I don't want it coming out in another way. But in all fairness, I did call him the Pocket Vin Diesel last night, so it works out for everyone.
Okay.
So
Did we all
I'm sure
agreed
you-
he was the Sons of Anarchy guy?
Wait, what?
I don't know the guy's name, but everyone's like, no, he looks like that guy from Sons of Anarchy.
Copa?
Which one?
Yeah.
Oh, the
I don't
big
know.
guy?
I don't watch that show, but that was
Do
funny.
you mean the young
Wait,
guy or the
which-
old guy?
I think the young guy. I don't know.
The guy who
I mean,
played
Coco's
Jax?
not old.
I got nothing.
The guy who played Jax?
I'm
Well, the old
stuck on
guy's
that
Ron
one.
All right,
Perlman.
I'm not enjoying this chat anymore.
She's like, I don't know. I gave you the information I had. Take it. Stop asking more
In
questions.
an hour, someone's gonna figure out who that
I
is and just
found
randomly shout it out.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
diner scene was 100% disgusting. That's this movie. Everything in this movie feels dirty and grimy. It's like if you touch anything, you need to go take a bath.
Mhm.
But,
Even the
watching
baths
it.
in
Those
this
are the best
place are
ones.
dirty.
Those are the
but,
best ones.
but
Those are the
I'll
best
bet you that those hot dogs are legit. That's going to be some of the best
Yes.
hot dogs you've ever had.
Yes.
Probably get some
Yes.
sort of cancer from eating that hot dog, but they're
Real
going to be
It'd be the
great.
best.
Well,
It'd be your
from
last best
pig
You
hot
with
dog.
really
actual
think
sludge
I'm
of
worried
Detroit.
about that?
They give you extra lips and assholes with these hot dogs. So,
Wow.
so Officer Albrecht has taken
I'll take
basically he does take care of her in as much as he is allowed to, I suppose. So he's buying her dinner. They've obviously built a relationship after
Friendship, right?
over the course of this year.
How do you ride that thing in the rain? pure
I like
talent.
their relationship because it kind of like is this sort of like archetypal kind of 80s kind of throwback where like you could have like a community taking care of like this kind of wayward kid and like I don't know, it seems to be like something I remember from a lot of like childhood movies.
Oh,
So
T-Bird!
here we
Kids were raised by the community.
and his
Well, it
fun
takes a
band of
village.
pirates.
Warriors, come out and play.
It takes an urban jungle to raise a kid.
So they are getting ready to take down an arcade of some kind for reasons that you don't really know or care about.
You never.
And you don't really care.
You don't care. It's unimportant. They're about to blow a building up. I love the church.
Oh, that is beautiful right there.
And this
That is a great
scene
shot.
You don't really realize that this is a foreshadowing scene. This area that you're looking at comes into play at the end of the movie, and it's just so well utilized. And now we're back in the graveyard with our friend the Crow, the Night Watchman. And I know it was a mechanical crow for a lot of these shots, but it looked really good.
Yeah.
Well, the trained
The
crow,
real effects look so much better than fake.
the trained crow was asking for too much money, so they had to let it go.
So, what do you mean you can get a robot replacement? I don't need this shit. And
that's what a robot would say.
Wait, what? I've lost. Yeah, I know. Fuck off. I get distracted. I'm old. I wander places. My brain is in an entirely different part of the room right now. It's sorting through some files.
This is why having a sound deck is so amazing. I just push button.
I loved this scene coming out of the earth a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I was thinking steampunk was because like there were certain scenes that were very like smoky, steamy.
Now, this obviously this is like okay, the crying, the pain, whatever, because he's not flesh and blood. That's embalming fluid. That is it in him.
He's been hanging out with Carrie under there.
Yeah. And not
my first thought when he popped out was, dang, he didn't decompose in a year that much.
I know, I was thinking
looks
the
good.
same
Miracle. It's a miracle.
It is magic.
Okay, I
just
just have
fucking
to point out at this point in time too is that this movie came out the same year as Interview with a Vampire, so
Correct.
the whole vampires were hot this year.
I liked Interview with a Vampire.
I loved that.
I did
movie.
too.
I've
It was
seen
really
like
good.
a million times. Like
I thought
so good.
I mean, the kid was good.
It was okay.
I didn't hate Tom
Kirsten
Cruise in
Dunst.
it, and
Kirsten
that was
Dunst,
a period where I
Kirsten
still
Dunst,
hated
yeah.
Tom Cruise.
Kirsten Dunst
And-
stole that film.
She was
Yes, she did.
fucking awesome. It was a very the weakest part of the movie for me, and I know we're not talking about that right now, but we're going to talk about it for a second. Was Christian Slater as the interviewer?
No,
He is the weak link in
He was
that
fine.
fucking movie.
he was
I
fine.
don't really like Christian Slater. I liked him in Heathers. Most of the time, I kind of think he's a douchey twat. He's not great. That's my take on Christian Slater. I'm sure other people have different opinions on him.
Christian Slater always looks like his eyes are almost closed and he just smoked a
Yes.
cigarette and he's trying to breathe. He's like, yeah, how's this gonna work there, guys? It's got that weird,
You know what?
yeah.
He's got an
good in
anime face.
Archer.
I thought the weakest part of Interview was Antonio.
All right. Okay.
Oh,
Yes,
Yeah,
my noodles are mine. I don't know. He really
But
we'll
reminds me
save
of the
that
arch
for-
villain. Yeah,
let's
we'll
save
Save
wait.
that for another time. That's another stream
Oh,
later on.
this is almost like a birth scene. Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he's thrusting out of a hole. He's all dirty and gross. It's not dissimilar. And it's obviously painful. It's obviously whatever is happening to him physically is painful, and he's confused when he comes out of it as well. It's not just like, oh, I am vengeance. I am the night. He's fucking. I don't know where I am.
That's Batman. Do not use that name around me.
So the arcade games, T-Bird and his little pirate helpers are getting ready to blow it up. So he's looking at the Crow right now. The Crow's looking at him going, hey, we got some shit to do. And And this is so all this is happening at the same time. He's popped out of his grave. It's T-Bird, and this is the crew that raped and murdered his girl and murdered him are right here. And the Crow again, like I said, leading him. And this I love these little parts. So he's stumbling through this again, fucking disgusting, filthy fucking alley.
Barefoot too. Good God.
To get some boots.
I mean, he's already dead, so he's not going to get tetanus or anything.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Is the crow just a crow, or is it symbolic of somebody? Is it a reincarnation of?
It's a spirit. It's
a spirit.
It's an otherworldly spirit of vengeance.
It's a spirit. Yeah.
Well, it's also like in the introduction, it says that the crow sometimes carries the spirits of the deceased to the afterlife.
And I wondered if it was, his girl.
No,
well, that's kind of proven wrong later. But basically,
like a messenger from the gods, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Hugin and Mugen, Odin's birds, right?
Albar kind of merged stuff from American Indian and Norse and other mythologies, and so he knows that crows were in a lot of different and ravens were in a lot of different mythology. So he could pull the mythology together for this. Right?
I like the positive use of crows. Crows are usually like negative light and
they're omens of misfortune and devastation
and evil.
By the way, if you're wondering why the little girl has a mullet, everyone in the 90s had a mullet.
It's not a mullet. It's like the undercut, but instead of the the weird kind of like Gwen Spider-Man cut that everyone has now, it was the under like.
She's staring very suspiciously at that hot dog.
She's like, these lips and assholes are not fresh.
This was like what's left of my friend Jane.
So timer's about to go off, and boom goes Arcade Games. Officer Albert has to go attend to this, and he asks Hot Dog Man to call it in for him. Now, Mickey, call it in for me, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, it just proves that he's been on the beat for like such a long time that he's like, I know the locals. He's a good cop.
He's gonna call it in for me.
So Officer Albrecht used to be Detective Albrecht. He got busted because he actually gave a shit and investigated stuff, which sometimes in the business can be too much.
You're putting your nose in the wrong people's pockets.
He was a shit disturber. Well, yeah, they didn't like that.
So the Crow again is guiding
with no Batman.
Is guiding Eric here to the fire escape. It's like
he was incredibly fit in this shot too. I did not know
definitely.
that.
I was like, thirst trap.
Well, if you look at him in Showdown Little Tokyo, he's a well-built guy. He's not a.
Well,
and I mean, for some of the stunts that he does, like even if he doesn't have a stunt double, which like some of the scenes it doesn't look like he does, but like he's doing a lot of like very core heavy like arm workout type things. So
I'd eat that.
He looks
the
like
next big action hero.
Well, no, he was lining up. He was. I mean, this movie would have been it. That would have pushed him over.
I think so. Yeah.
That status, and unfortunately,
because all the stuff he had done earlier, he was a young actor, didn't have a lot of range. This really stretched his range out.
Yeah. He just did his first two big movies with Showdown Little Tokyo, like you mentioned.
I have
a really good action film called Rapid Fire that people have missed.
So there's a little clip I'm sharing, if you don't mind playing it.
Does it have sound? Am I going to get copyright strike?
You shouldn't get struck. It's not a long clip.
Okay. It's not from Japan, is it? Because
it's from Showdown Little Tokyo.
Over here. Okay.
See, does Japan like hate you like Amazon hates me and like tries to copyright all of my crap?
Anything, I end up losing the stream for 12 hours and I have 12 viewers for the entire fucking
thing. I'll it doesn't matter. I'll remove it.
I was going to play it. I was like right there. I had
hang on then.
Finger over the button.
Hang on then. It's very short.
Make sure it's not the wrong button.
It's played on other shows. It's played on other shows all the time.
Okay.
Copa.
Biggest dick I've ever seen on a man.
Wow.
That's from Showdown.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Well played, sir. Well played, sir.
That was from Nick Visor, 32 Flavors of Nick Visor's Toxic Tuesdays, which I'm on.
So the crow has taken him back to his apartment.
Crow's like, it's time for you to go
Seeing
home,
the
sir.
And we learn, hey, Dempsey, welcome to the show. We
What's up,
are
Dempsey?
learning things as he is learning things, literally like scene by scene.
Right. And this is
Right.
and
I love that
and this-
shot.
The cat.
Right.
So
And this
He's so
goes
jolly.
and this goes back to what to what I said. These are all of these are what would be exposition dumps.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
but because of the skills that Eric has, you can, instead of taking the time to talk it out, you can just show it in clips and clips and clips, and so you actually get the whole story throughout this entire thing.
Oh yeah,
Flashbacks do things well when done well.
Yeah, when used in a way where your like character is figuring something out and you don't know, like in this movie or like Memento or something like that, you eventually put the story together and you don't have to sit and go through the whole thing.
So Skank,
we're learning what he's learning.
Same time.
Well, the movie does
Skank
it
had
really
picked
well.
up the
Like,
cat and it bit him. That's what he's getting that flash.
He has an instinctive knowledge of who he has to kill.
Right.
Right. So there's no way to directly tell the audience he has to get that guy, and that guy. So they have to convey it visually and with tone and music and all that. And
it's so much better this way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Show, don't tell.
Yeah. He doesn't talk for 30 minutes into the movie.
Yeah,
I think the first words he says are to
this. Go ahead.
No, the first thing he says is Gabriel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's beautiful that you can actually convey all the emotions with just the writhing and the flashbacks. He doesn't have to say anything for half an hour. I don't think I've seen a movie yet that's been able to do that in the last decade.
Last 10 years. No, this movie so much better than what we've gotten in the last 10 years.
The problem was the word.
Can I make an aside? Just ask a quick question because I know that they try it and try to put out there. Would y'all watch a remake of this with Jason Momoa?
No.
Really? Okay.
Don't
this
touch
movie
the
should
show.
not be remade.
Well,
should not be touched.
Yeah, especially in today's remake saturated market, and especially bad remakes. I just wish people would stop touching stuff like this and remaking it, because apparently the people that we have now are not capable of bringing out the same level of entertainment, the same level of emotion, the same level of storytelling that a lot of these writers, directors, and actors were able to do during this time. And if they don't do it right, just don't do it.
And if it was done right the first time.
I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, if it's done right the first time, what is the point of a remake?
Well,
right, exactly.
Or a sequel.
There's a way to do sequels to this.
Well,
do what O'Bye did. Do what O'Bye did. Have the Crow bring other people back for other vengeances, so to speak.
But they did it so poorly. What they tried to do in every Crow sequel was recreate the first movie.
Right,
and it never worked. And that's like Highlander. You didn't need a sequel to Highlander.
There was no sequel to Highlander. There was never a sequel to Highlander. I don't know what you're talking about.
There is no sequel to Highlander.
There can be only one.
Watch this as a remake would be if they did it in noir, in a noir style, as a silent movie with a really bomb ass industrial goth soundtrack.
Yeah,
that would be really cool. I mean, this movie's so artistic. Look at these, you doing snapshots of each shot. And it's really cool because they do such a great job with the lighting, so that all of the flashbacks are mostly this black red with the blue. That's really that is a lot of really tricky lighting to get everything just right, so you can get see what's going on and what you're trying to film and not have it be too dark. I think it's really artistic. I really enjoyed the set design of this and the sort of overexposure compared to the underexposure that comes later. It's
Milli Vanilli there.
I know. I love that.
Yes, Joker.
Okay. So, and plus, if you were to do a modern remake of this, or a reboot or whatever, in today's Hollywood, it would be a heavy visual effects piece, and it would lose so much of the soul of what this film is.
Yeah.
Fucking CGI the fuck out of it. Like the Crow. The Crow would be entirely CGI. There would be no mechanical crow. There'd be no real fucking crow. It'd be all fucking CGI fucking crow. So fake
Hey,
crow. Fuck
Cajun, what's up, man?
Oh, Cajun Corey, welcome. Aren't you in Texas, my friend?
Yes, he is.
You are. Welcome.
Hi, Corey and Shieldwall. Yup.
Holy
Anyone
shit.
who's by you, Corey, we say hi. I wish I could have come this time, but next time.
Good for you guys. Nice. So in this scene, he is basically reliving his death moments.
Right, his pain.
That's what's those are the memories that are playing. Those brightly lit memories in this dark, shell of an apartment. Lining him up to get shot, and that's what he's going through all the motions. Man, look at his physique. He is tight.
I know, like this.
Lit.
Yeah, can we
It
just
lit
like,
up.
yeah,
Wow.
beautiful.
Very nice.
The gals
Go to
are-
horny jail. Bonk.
He's
Yeah,
almost
and they
as,
shoot him,
almost
and
as
they throw him
good
out
as
a
you,
fucking
Roman.
window.
Almost as good as you, Roman. Almost as fit as you.
Zach's
To be fair,
shoulders right there.
I'm only like 3 times his age, so it's no big deal. Then they all come over to look at their work, and he's laying on the ground dead. And this is a really cool because he runs up,
That was
grabs the
pretty
window
cool.
frame, and swings
Yeah.
back in. It's just a really neat shot. And this is where we learn something else about him.
He heals.
He heals. So he's learned 2 important things. He can glean things from touch, and he has super healing powers.
Right.
So pretty important little bits here. And the crow is his friend.
And that's
Well,
all
Crow-
within what, like the first 10,
Well, the Crow
15
is
minutes?
his guide. The Crow's his guide.
Yeah, not his friend necessarily, but his guy.
So these fucking weirdos are downing bullets. They're doing
Yeah, I
they're
don't
like
know
Not
why.
a good idea.
fucking bizarre. That is going to get stuck in your intestines. You're going to get diverticulitis, and you're going to fucking die. So,
Lead
I mean, it's
poisoning.
not like they're
Lead
going to live
poisoning.
long anyway.
well, true. So T-Bird is a fucking freak. Tintin is a fucking freak. They're doing this fire it up
They're-
thing. The
Well,
fire
they're
it
all
up thing
freaks.
was just
They're all
so.
drug addicts. I mean, you've got you have Skank, who is a speed freak. You have Funboy, who is hopped up on opiates, and you probably got Tintin and T-Bird cokeheads.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Where's the meth representation, guys? Come on.
That's right.
That's
Yeah,
probably
man.
Skank. Probably Skank.
Oh, that's
This
her.
guy, the black guy.
Well, here we meet poor Darla.
Mom of the year.
Mom of the year. We don't know her significance at this point.
No.
We just know that she's kind of the bar lady friend.
Whore.
Bar wench.
I was
She's a
trying to be
whore.
nice. So she's like all in Funboy, and Tintin's licking her, and it's like kind of a gross. She's like, put away.
They kind of pass her around. They pass her around.
You're scaring the customers. So now we're back with Eric in the apartment, though, and he's going through a metamorphosis at this point because
yeah.
he is understanding now. He's understanding what's happening. He's understanding why he's here. So he's gone from out of the hole,
Birth.
dead a few
Birth.
minutes ago, dude, to Spirit of Vengeance.
And this song "Burn" by
Oh
another-
fuck! This soundtrack is
The Cure?
simply incredible.
Yeah, the soundtrack is perfection.
Mhm.
Like, it
mean-
could just be a music video. I would be fine with that if there was like no dialogue. Like,
Mhm.
So touching the mask, more memories of
Mhm.
him and Shelley. I love
She's
you. Say
gorgeous.
that again.
And
I love
she's
you.
gorgeous.
She's a very pretty lady,
mhm,
and he's a very pretty man. To be fair.
mhm.
That's fair.
And they're just going through. These are the snippets. These are the snippets you get of their life. They're tiny. You don't know depth. You don't care. You just know they love each other and they were happy. That's it. That's all you know.
That's it.
That's all you need to know.
Yep. And you don't. Again, if they did a modern remake of it, they would fuck that up.
exposition.
You
dump.
would.
That's
The movie would be 3 fucking hours. I would go, all the things about their childhoods that I didn't give a fuck about. What their actual
How
jobs
they
were, all
met.
the stuff.
Why they don't have children already?
So this is when the music is building.
Yes.
As soon as he punches the mirror, it
Burn
really goes into
comes
Burn,
in, yes.
by the Cure. And if you don't have the soundtrack for this movie or don't know it, look it up on Spotify. It is, I think, arguably one of the best soundtracks, song for song, that you're going to find out there.
It's like this. It's like this and Queen of the Damned is like two like amazing.
Yeah, and Queen of the Damned is so good.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, the 1990s were king for like Dracula 2000 had the best heavy metal soundtrack of all time. You ever remember that?
I miss the 90s.
Yeah, I love
So
that
do
this
I.
movie is totally like it is a thing of its time. Like, you know what era this is. You can see how
there's no question about that.
It really influenced culture and like the styles and I mean goth people and
I mean, okay, for even today in any goth scene or to whatever, this film is a staple. It is vital.
Do y'all think that
so cute.
do you guys think that the Matrix, like the clothing, was derived from this movie?
I wouldn't be surprised.
A couple things they talk about because they talk about the Matrix also being a derivative of Dark City, being influenced by that.
Yeah,
And
I feel like
you can totally see that from both these because the Matrix came out shortly after Dark City did. But
Really, that was the same year? Wow.
90s, man. 90s was
and unfortunately
fabulous.
for Dark City, the Matrix totally overshadowed it. You know, it's a shame.
Wow.
Yes, and that's a shame. That's a shame. The Matrix itself is brilliant.
Because Dark City had Jennifer Connelly in it.
Yes, it did.
I always wondered when I saw the cat, why, one, how was the cat still alive? Two, why is the cat still here? And
Cat
three,
mind his own damn business. That's why I stayed alive.
eight.
There's a lot of dead bodies around.
The
the cat
visuals on this
And there
were
we
just
go.
so good. The music's pounding. He's walking towards the window.
The crow lands on his
Clearly
shoulder.
full of mission now.
Oh yeah.
And
He
you get
knows
the
what he
reverse
needs
shot.
to do, and he's ready to do it.
It's become.
You get the reverse shot of the opening scene of this movie. Now the camera goes away from Eric in the window. And
I do love those shots with the window. It's
just
beautiful.
fucking brilliant stuff.
Yeah.
And now you're with Tintin and what's the shop? Gideon, Mr. Gideon, the shop owner.
Gideon.
Tintin is trying to sell him a purse that has a broken
Leather,
strap and blood on it.
leather.
He's like, what is it? What is it? What is this? Tintin blood on
Blood.
it? Come on,
Yeah.
$50. Take it or leave it. Take it. I know you're thinking.
And I hate doing charity.
And they're completely despicable characters, but it's a really fun scene to watch.
And
Yeah, I
if
thought
you-
it was fun. It was a good example of how you could like give backstory without an info dump. Like they
Right.
obviously know each other. This guy has done lots of other bad things. He's been in there before, which kind of establishes it for next time.
and you notice his really long pinky nail.
Oh yeah, his coat meal.
I know nothing about that. What are you talking about?
So Tintin obviously takes the money and locks up the shop for him. But
Watching
all of this is
I lock
our-
this up real good for you, massa.
yeah,
I'm glad you said it, not me.
Okay.
Well, like also it just goes to show like right. Movies don't all have to be racist. We all can be friends and we can all tell each other F off equally.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
Yes. So the crow is observing all of this
Mhm.
from above. And this is where we learn something else. Or do we learn that now? Oh, no. We'll learn that in a second. He sees what the crow sees, though. That's the thing.
right.
The crow can convey to him the imagery that it's for the important things. This
And then
is
this-
another one. So this
Nine
is
Inch
Dead
Nails.
Souls, Nine Inch
Right, Nine
Nails
Inch Nails.
covering Soul
Yeah.
Division. Or Soul Division.
Joy Division.
Joy Division. Fuck, sorry.
I saw
And
them
I
live
like-
once. I saw Joy Division
I'm-
concert.
I'm so.
I saw Nine Inch
jealous.
Nails.
It's like I've seen so many bands, but I've never seen them.
I saw Nine Inch Nails back when the Lollapalooza music festival. I
I've been
was
there.
at number 1, and that's they played that. So this scene when Nine Inch Nails covering Joy Division's Dead Souls. The rooftop scene is fucking so fun to watch because he's now stretching his wings a little bit. He's seeing what he can do.
Yeah.
And the crow is guiding him, and he's jumping over rooftops. And it's just so fucking fun to watch.
Right.
There are a couple times I wondered, like, is he able to like bring his essence into the crow and fly through the crow, or is he just really fast?
He's linked to the crow. Like, he knows where the crow is at all times. He can kind of see through it at times. In the movie, especially, they play that off. But like if the crow knows something, he knows it, so to speak.
Right.
You know.
This scene was fun because he just let himself fall off the building and lands, and he just hits the ground and he is laughing.
Right.
You know, he's like, well, that's how I died. I'm not going to fucking die that way again.
Hey, what you up pitted up for, crackhead? Halloween until mañana.
He just comes at him.
Now
he didn't say a fucking word.
I originally thought that was there was a musician at the time. I thought that was Terrence Trent D'Arby.
Oh, I know you're talking about. Back in the day, same hair.
Back in the day, yep.
Look at that face. That is not a man who was there to give you a hug.
Come on, let's.
You want to get nuts to nuts?
Because it's like I'm thinking about like when this was made, and it's so easy for us to look back and think like, okay, so many of the dark superhero takes, but this is really like the antithesis of the anti like superhero, like the kind of. It's like, you know, I don't want to forget that this is a comic book movie, so that some archetypes getting changes, and it's really hard when you watch older movies is to go back and remember like this was like really the first time that they did this kind of stuff, so this was kind of like really subverting your expectations on what a comic book movie would be. Yeah, in a good way. Yeah, like this is a new thing. It's like a different kind of the anti-comic book hero.
Right.
Well, because it's not a clear, like Batman, sorry, Joker, and Superman, which were really the only superheroes we had kind of seen at this point.
Right.
Had very clear cut, you know, these are the rules that I operate by.
Codes. And they didn't kill.
Right. Well, in the movies a little bit, but it wasn't.
The movies like to fudge things a lot. They're like, well, it's more fun if a superhero that says that he's never going to kill anyone actually kills somebody, but he does it over and over again. So,
what I liked about
he's not a hero. He's out for vengeance.
No, he's not a hero.
Right.
He's not a hero. He's vengeance.
He's got one mission. It's vengeance.
So Eric is talking to Tintin here, and I
want you to tell me a story
because he wants him to know why he's doing it. He wants him to understand who he is and why he is there. But then he gets that flash of memory, and it fucks him up for a second, which is all Tintin needs to give him a good whack in the head with a pipe, and he starts beating the fuck out of him. But motherfucker is pretty much
murder.
He's like,
murder.
You're going to learn all about it. It's fun. It's easy.
How would you like that?
He's driven for vengeance, right? He's not supposed to pause.
I was like, didn't he say he had 2 friends he never missed, and he pulls out like 3 other knives? Though?
I know.
I was confused.
Where does he keep them?
Just two.
Okay, I thought he pulled out a 3rd one after he missed a second time.
Yeah,
because he has straps.
Okay, I was just confused. He said I only got 2 friends. And
that knife isn't a
3rd.
friend; it's just an acquaintance.
He's only taking them out on like a couple of dates. He doesn't, you know, he's not steady with them.
I like that one shot before. It's very like a 90s music video. Like kind of reminded me Alice in Chains kind of vibes.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Speaking of Alice in Chains, and Mr. Roman mentioned the music festival Lollapalooza. I went to one where on the same bill I had Rage, I had Tool, and the headliner was the original lineup of Alice in Chains.
Oh wow, that's a freaking concert.
Nice.
So I'm trying to get my son to do something, which is less easy than you think, especially via text. So you're getting Crow vision here, and then he's about to throw the knives, and Whoops! He just fucking slaps that shit out of the air.
I love
Try
these
harder.
old
Try
movie
again.
style,
Try
like with
harder.
the effects, like in the knives. You just see it slowly turn.
He catches it like that. That was pretty cool.
The
Victims
are
we all. So it's just I love that stuff. It's fucking good. And
He's
now
just,
we're
he
back
becomes
with,
a pincushion later on.
I like how it's a
it looks
Primus
The
poster
Primus
back there.
poster in the background. Yeah.
Well, this is a club. These are the bands that have played at the club. That's all it is.
Driver.
This is his, the Joker's or Joker, Hangman's joke. Sorry,
See, they
Joker.
used to make those promotional. They're not posters; they're promotional cards for the bands. They made them.
So you
with
know
the
who
name
everybody
on it.
is.
Nice.
and-
They used to
Yeah, I
make
miss
those. Never seen one for years, and I don't think they make them now.
And I forget the name of this band, but they were great.
Yeah.
They actually were pretty cool. Yeah.
So they're making
Why
their
can't
way
we
through the
have
club.
good
'cause
music again?
What's that?
So why can't we have good music again?
Because it's the year 2023, and all good things have left the building.
Because
So,
all of the good rock and the metal music has gone to Scandinavia and Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah.
You got it there, young Jacob of the Empire. Thank you. So I'm going to blow myself up for a second, so please don't take offense.
Phrasing.
So here we have the Crow soundtrack.
Ah, yes.
Oh wow.
Nice.
And take a look at the back as well. You can see, hopefully that's focused enough so you can see that stuff. I'm going to read through it just real quick. Again, even the artwork, the stuff inside the sleeve is just fucking really good.
Is that a gatefold sleeve?
Yep. So
show and tell.
forgive me, I'm working with my mic and all my shit around.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Yes.
So you got that. I'm the right way, Roman. Can you see all this?
Yes,
Can
that's
you see
beautiful.
me?
Yes. Unfortunately, we can still see you.
Thank you. So I'm going to go down the lineup here, and just bear with me. If you're not a music fan, first of all, fuck off. But so these are the songs that are on the soundtrack. So The Cure Burn, which is that one that we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Machines of Loving Grace, Golgotha Tenement Blues is the song. Stone Temple Pilots, Big Empty is on
That's
here.
a good song.
9 Inch Nails covering Dead Souls. Rage Against the Machine, Darkness. Violent Femmes, Color Me Once. Rollins Band, Ghost Rider. Helmet, Milquetoast.
Yeah.
The Badge. For Love, Not Lisa, Slip Slide.
I'm sorry, my name is Lisa, and I found that like in Amoeba Music when I moved to Hollywood. So I think I bought a record just to have a picture of that because it was so funny.
I love how the rest of us are just disembodied voices.
I would never recommend watching the second, third.
I'm sorry, I didn't. I meant to bring you back. I meant to bring you back.
Soundtrack.
No,
I mean, it's fine. We can be disembodied voices.
You never read out the best band, the
What's
Jesus
happening?
and Mary Chain, Scottish band.
So, My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult After the Flesh, the Jesus and Mary Chain, A Snake Driver, Medicine Time Baby 3, and Jane Cybery, I think, It Can't Rain All the Time. It Can't Rain All the Time is a band that Hangman's Joke played, and that's part of the dialogue.
Is Pantera on there too? Pantera?
Yeah,
Did you?
Pantera.
they
Did
cover
we talk about
a
Pantera?
Poison
Pantera,
song.
The Badge. Yep.
Got the
So that's the
helmet
Crow
laying short here.
soundtrack. It's a fucking killer soundtrack.
It is,
I
yeah.
recommend, like I said, if you're go check it out. Listen to it on stupid Spotify or whatever thing you listen to things on, and it's worth your fucking time.
And
if not, then you
Tony
have
Todd
to-
as Candyman.
Fucking Tony Todd. I love Tony Todd. He was in so many things. Like he was like the guy in the 90s. He was in Star Trek. He was in all the horror movies. He was just like fucking everywhere. He's a great actor.
I like his glasses in this. They were quite their own character.
Right.
Yeah.
I love how they like they always from whatever I remember, like they just stayed in one spot no matter what he did. They were just like taped to his face.
Yeah.
So he is Top Dollar's number 2 guy, and he, T-Bird is just coming to let him know, we blew up the joint for you. Can I talk to the man? And he's like, he's in a meeting.
taking me.
I'll teach those people for playing Pac-Man and Space Invaders.
So we meet this lovely lady. This is his sister. Which you don't
Sister wife.
Sister wife.
We're doing sister wives.
So he's looking at a snow globe that has it's like a cemetery snow globe, which is a little bit fucking weird. It was
Why would he says he got it from his dad. Like, no wonder he's a messed up kid. Who gives a knows?
Your childhood is over the day you learn you're gonna die. And he gave him this fucking snow globe.
Was he was like 9, he said? What isn't that what he said? He was like
he may have been 5. He was fucking young.
Okay, I'm calling it. This guy is like the vampire Armand. Like I just didn't even remember his name, and I just kept calling him because he's just like it's the hair, like the way they did the hair extensions and stuff. He just acts like a vampire too.
I just want to say that's his sister though. Biling is it the lady that's the bilingual lady playing there?
Basically, she's half a sister.
Does she speak more than one language? She must do. She's bilingual.
You know how I knew who she was? This is so bad. Like, she was in Playboy magazine doing like a Star Wars shoot. Left, I know.
Right. She's a very
everyone, please take note of
research
that,
now.
and you send the link somewhere in Twitter.
She's a very cunning bilinguist.
So they so she's talking to Top Dollar first. She's like, "They're thinking about the past." And he's like, "Yeah, Dad gave this to me." And they had the discussion about the snow globe.
I'm gonna be honest. In this like shot, he looks like a chick. His eyelashes look on point.
God.
So she asks about, is she sleeping? And he's like, I think we broke her. And she's fucking dead. And so they roll her over. Her eyes, they're so pretty. So she's about to cut out her fucking eyes. Yeah, they have a good, solid relationship. I think it's
wholesome
healthy.
Family.
It is built on trust.
Yep.
So here we are now back with young Sarah, going to the pits, which seems like a grand place for a family meeting, and we realize that Darla, the bar whore, is her mother.
I love how it's been a year and like she still hasn't changed her clothes.
Very true. We've all that age. I mean, you got your favorite clothes.
Unfortunately, Roman, my friend, I have to drop.
Do you got to roll out? Okay.
Yeah, I got to roll now. I really appreciate you having me.
Dude, the pleasure is I think is ours, man. You were
I'd say the pleasure was mutual.
It's always nice to have you on. We will one day work this out properly, time zone wise. So
this it's a difficult time for me this time, but I do appreciate you guys having me back. It's been a lot of fun. Enjoy the rest of the show, and good night, everyone.
You got anything?
Thank
you. Before you take off, buddy.
Next Monday I'll have my next regular show on my channel, That 70s Rock Fan, and I'm starting a new series of monthly shows within the other stuff I do on calling it the Cult Comedy Crew. We're going to do various cult comedy TV shows. I'm going to start with Blackadder.
Right on
Monday,
right
yeah.
On.
So
Blackadder.
Yeah, so
CCC.
Yes. I was thinking of calling it Cult with a K, but then I thought, well, that might be a bit dangerous.
Oh my.
So that's on Monday, 3 p.m. Mountain Time on That 70s Rock Fan. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for having me.
All right, thank you, brother.
Thank you. Nice to talk to you.
Yeah, you too. We'll do it again soon. Cheers. Bye.
Cheers. So That 70s Rock Fan, his data is in the details. Make sure you sub to his channel. He offers up both music and they do a lot of like classical movie stuff, and they have a whole canon movies, the canon films of the 80s. You remember those were Dino De Laurentiis.
Yes.
So they cover a lot of that stuff over there too, and this is a lot of fun to watch. So check them out over there. Very, very cool stuff. So Darla the bar whore. This is a mildly funny scene though, because she comes in. She's like, "Well, I guess you're not coming home until later, are you, Darla?"
Darla.
Around here.
Like,
She like pushes money towards her. She's like, "Go get something to eat."
Okay,
like,
and again,
with the police.
Right, and again, but this is done so smartly because in today's Hollywood, that scene would be like pushed out like for another 5, like for another 3 to 5, for like another 3 to 5. Here they have just a few lines, and you know exactly what this entire dynamic is.
Exactly.
Like,
we know the
moment
dynamic
she
of
goes
this relationship.
and like drops your mom's like first name. That's like the ultimate insult.
Right.
It is.
Yeah,
Well,
she calls
also,
her
like,
Darla. She doesn't see her. as mom.
I got a Little Rascals vibe. I was like, Darla grown up. Little
I did not think of
Rascals.
that.
Darla, you're the scum between my two.
So that gives a whole new that gives the name Spanky a whole new meaning now.
So now we are revisiting Gideon's pawn shop here, and again, it looks fucking disgusting. He's got a sandwich here. He's got money here. Everything just looks fucking gross. And then, boom! Yeah, just slam. It's
sleep it off, dust head.
Just so good.
We're closed.
The underlighting.
He
like,
bangs again, and then he pulls the
look
gate
at the
open.
noirness of this. Like, look at how the shadows are used. Like, it's so good. Like,
And the angle
through the glass.
Dutch angle
Just-
on this. Like, great.
And then he wipes the glass off his shoulder.
It's like, oh, oopsie, I got some dust.
Suddenly, I heard a tapping
on the shadows here. I mentioned this before. Like,
hear
this
me
is
rapping.
This is kind of duplicated in the comic. You'll notice they also duplicate from the comic when he flashes back to happier times. The shadows invert. Like it's brighter because the shadow, like instead of being dominated by shadows with a little bit of light in the darker scenes, in the lighter scenes, it's the shadow. It's highlighted. The shadows highlight the light, so to speak. It's you don't understand.
Gotcha.
You don't understand when you see
The contrast is higher.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then they do the red too. That's cool. And the overexposure.
And then to quote Edgar Allan Poe, I was just like,
nevermore, nevermore.
Yeah. It was it's so appropriate and beautifully done. You know, it could have come off as corny and hokey, but it didn't. It absolutely did not. So I love the look. This is not a man who is there to give you a hug. No. He is there to fuck up your world. There's drool coming off his lip in this scene. He's so fucking
I noticed.
He is like a rabid dog, like just wanting to stare into this guy.
He is throwing Gideon around like a big fat fucking rag doll.
I'm looking for something engagement. It was pawned here a year ago by a customer's name.
He's driven to do his mission. It's painful for him to not do the mission. He has those flashbacks that are painful when he's not killing the people he's supposed to kill or accomplishing what he's supposed to accomplish.
I love this because he's hanging upside down because Gideon takes a swipe at him with
that was cool.
Or something. And he kind of grabs. He's like, "Mr. Gideon, you're not paying attention."
And then and then now and then he grabs the bat, and this is the entire motif, the entire look of a wrestler in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Oh, Sting.
Called Crow Sting, literally called Crow Sting.
Yeah.
Very Undertaker vibes.
Yeah,
he grabs this
Undertaker
sharp
predates this though.
Oh yeah,
instrument this is, shoves it through his hand, pinning it to the counter.
Oh,
and then he starts asking him some more questions. Again, I'm here to talk about an engagement ring, and he starts just kind of fucking up the shop. Am I getting warmer? What are you talking about?
No.
Do you not know this game, Mr. Gideon?
That's not yet. That's it. They have a break first, and then they come back here. They have a break first,
right?
He confided in me as he ran out of breath.
Oh, before he died. And now we see what happened to good old Tin
Cushion.
He became a pin
cushion. That was awesome.
A voodoo doll. What do you call all that? I call it blood, detective. But I suppose
That was awesome.
Ernie Hudson was one of the great
And
underappreciated
again,
actors of this era. He
but-
was in Ghostbusters. He was in this. He was in Leviathan.
Right.
He's in like 9,000 different movies. Because I would joke with my then we were married at this point, but before this, he was still in everything, and I'd be like, "It's Ernie Hudson." She's like, "He's not." It is Ernie Hudson, because he was in every movie back then. He was just like the character actor of the day. Total underappreciated dude.
Okay,
I agree.
so this is where a lot of that. So this is where a lot of the corny dialogue.
Yes.
Is from him, but it's so consistent because he's like that all the time.
But you're not wrong. He is consistent, and this is also where you get more of the background. Again, it comes in a snippet. This is how Detective Torres basically tells him, you're a fucking beat cop. Act like a beat cop. It's no wonder you lost your gold badge. Blah blah blah. So
I'm supposed to thank you for that. Right.
You can leave my crimes.
I like this guy because he's just like a straight up archetypal character, and it's like they don't
nice.
do like the oh wow, that is really cool.
He waits midway to the movie to show the crow. Bro, you got to start off with that. You got to lead with that, sir.
I know. I'm like,
that's awesome.
Front center, bro. We got to see this.
Well, because we haven't seen the symbol until this scene.
Yes, this is
okay. All right.
And
show my arm, Roman.
I don't know if I got the shot.
Show
You
it,
have to forgive me. I
Roman.
don't
Show
think I
me
did.
it. No, like
Roman.
Make it big. I wanna see it.
You
look. I literally have to download
nice
all
tattoo,
of
Joker.
these images. I've got like 500 fucking
Roman,
images that I downloaded for you people. And
make me larger. Make me larger, Roman.
Yes,
make me
it
larger.
That's what we're trying to say.
I don't know. I need context here.
There you go.
Oh, that's fucking.
Oh
beautiful,
wow, that's
man.
cool. It looks like it's all like
That's pretty cool. That's
on
awesome,
fire
dude.
and stuff too.
That
That's
is
really cool.
very fucking cool, Joker.
Very cool shading.
Nice.
Well,
Joker just got 100 extra cool points. He'll be back next week.
Well, I had it done, so it looks like it was scarred, so like it was dug into my arm.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Probably.
So now we're back with
thank you, Dempsey.
Again.
now
that they go into yes.
Now
Oh
they
yeah,
go
yeah.
into, don't you know this game?
This game,
no,
yes.
No. Ugh,
yeah.
the pain.
It's in a metal box under the fucking counter. So he opens the box. Yeah. He just starts throwing rings.
No,
Like that is like when he finds
No.
it, it's like that is such a that is not an engagement ring.
Well, when you live in this part of town, that's probably very expensive.
That ring is a wish your heart makes. All right.
Look at this. Look at this.
Right.
You probably got that from Wish.
Pain.
Right, and that's it, and this is right here again. Exposition.
So look at the
Visually.
contrast in lighting here.
Yeah.
So this is the now.
Mm-hmm.
This is him, and then the memory. The memory is the only bright thing.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and it's over bright.
Well, she is the only bright thing in his life.
And
then he takes a shotgun.
And then he pours the rings into the shotgun. He pours the rings into the shotgun.
For whatever reason, Mr. Gideon has a lot of explosive fuels in his shop. I don't know why, but Eric picks them all over.
Probably pawns motorcycles and stuff.
And he grabs that guitar and he's like, "Take whatever you want. Take whatever you want. Thank you."
So he's asking, basically
takes the guitar.
some more
This is
information
mine.
out of Mr. Gideon here as to where they all hang out.
The pit. The
Fun Boy's got a
pit.
place, lives up on top. Oh, Fun Boy. They all have jolly pirate nicknames because he's just thinking that how fucking ridiculous this is.
And we know precisely what time Gideon's going to die too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not here yet, so he doesn't die.
Fun Boy.
There's a fuzzy fun in my pocket.
They were all. Every member of this gang was disgusting and vile on just
and needed to be yeeted off of the face of the earth.
Exactly.
So he pours the rings into the shotgun. I love this. Each of these is a life you helped to steal.
Each of these is a life a life that you helped destroy. Don't kill me. Don't. I'm not going to kill you. You're going to deliver a message. You tell them death is coming for them, coming tonight.
I like it. I dig that.
No, it's because he's the messenger. You live because you're the messenger. You're not going to be happy you lived, but you live. Is that gasoline I smell? No!
And then the visual.
I was randomly throwing it everywhere because I'm just going to.
That was cool.
You know what I liked about this? It just brought us back to like Die Hard and all like trips to Universal Studios, and there's just these massive, insane like movie explosions, and it's like way more than anything. Like, oh, hello, Alex.
And again,
what was my nickname in the Navy, Subtle? You know what my nickname was? Master Chief. That was my nickname. So.
Hell yeah.
That's Solid Snake.
So again,
I thought it was a Lilu.
With this scene, they did not forget the rings in the gun, because as you see the shot, you see the rings just start.
Yeah, they explode out. Hey guys, I'm gonna leave you with this for like 2 minutes. I'll be right back. So just talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. Let's our own devices, guys. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah. I love
talk about scissor.
Okay.
Power of scissors compel you. Power of scissors compel you.
Yeah. I liked it. I liked how this guy comes and he's like all, messed up, and then he goes back, and
I love the dialogue. I love the dialogue between Eric and Albrecht. I say move and you're dead, and I say I'm dead and I move.
This does a tap dance. just crab walking.
Yes, this was just.
It reminded me of that one like short bald guy from Home Alone.
Yeah,
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci. Yes, his name escaped me, but yeah, definitely that was. Yeah, I like the archetypal characters again. It's like you don't need to give a lot of explanation because the audience recognizes the archetype, and because the recognition there, it does a lot of the background kind of stuff.
They also don't treat the audience like we're 2-year-olds. You have to explain everything to us.
Which is why this film is a near perfect film, because again, it gives you just enough that you can fill in the gaps and not have to be told this is what happened. This is what happened here. This is what happened there. There is no need for long exposition dumps, because it is done in such a way that you get all this info throughout the film. What's up, Cannoli?
What's up? We can't highlight anything because
we can't.
But we're just kind of on our own devices. Granted, why didn't he minimize the picture so we could just be talking and it not look we're talking about that scene?
Well, control.
Well, this is also Roman when they were walking to a place to go, when they were walking at a place in Vegas for the meetup. They made a turn.
I'm back.
And Tyler was like, "Are you sure?"
Thank God for Tyler.
And are you sure we made the right turn? Yeah, why? Because it just added 0.2 miles to my map.
Look, y'all
for my direction following or giving. Even when
I am horrible at directions. In Orlando, I got lost so many times that they had to almost hold my hand throughout the whole thing. Like, come on, Mando, go over here.
So we get to meet. This is kind of funny though, because the bartender isn't a complete shitheel. This is just kind of his deal, because he's talking to Sarah and he's like, "Yeah, your mom, I can't do anything because technically she's off
the clock.
Yeah, way off.
Yeah, Sarah's way off. but he, like I said, he's not a complete shitheel. He's just kind of doing his thing. But the archetypes.
Well,
of,
I mean,
of what Gideon is, of what Top Dollar is, of what T-Bird and his gang are. They are very specific, and you recognize them immediately, which is beautiful. They don't treat you like you're a child. You don't need all the things. You need this much to understand.
Yeah, the
so
archetypes do a lot of the heavy lifting for this.
Yes, it does.
And no one is trying to subvert like what those archetypes are supposed to be. We understand who is the bad guy. We understand who is the good guy. We understand that the person who's technically the good guy isn't really a good guy. We don't have to be convinced that his cause is just. We understand he is out for vengeance. He will not be deterred from his path. Yes. These other people are psychopaths. There is no good in them. And while what he's doing may not be right in the law's eyes, like they're not trying to make you feel sorry for the bad guys.
And most importantly, the bad guys are irredeemable.
Yes.
They're bad guys. Well, Mr. Gideon, he was trying to make his wife was sick and his kids were in college. No one cares. No one gives a fuck. You don't know any of that. You don't care about that. Gideon is a shitbag who takes stolen goods from murder victims and doesn't care. That's what you know about Gideon. So, Ego, go ahead. This movie, this dark, strange movie, compared to, and I'm going to use the word superhero here because it's the closest comparison that I have, compared to a superhero movie of this era, what would you say? I mean, is there something that even falls in the fucking neighborhood? I'll give you like 5 years.
Only thing I can think of is like John Wick. I mean, it's not superhero at all, but it's the only thing I can kind of remind me of. So if you're doing John Wick 5 and he comes back from the grave, I'm going to say this is The Crow. If you do that, that's the first thing I'm going to say. But I mean, I don't really consider it in any way a superhero because there's nothing necessarily heroic about it does because it's a singular focus and he's out because you did me wrong. Like he's a very loving, he's a very loving and sensitive person. And I think that is kind of the characteristic of artists because a few of my friends are artists and they feel, and so what they feel they put out is their music, but they keep showing you in flashbacks like he lived the life that he felt. So he loves you. Hey, I'm gonna take care of you. If I love you, I'm gonna ask you to marry me and be with me forever. I love my band. Hey, we've got our own band thing going on. So when you rob someone of that, he's like, you've robbed me of this complete life. So I'm just gonna take you out, and that's it. Like, even when we get to the end, he's just like, yo, just give me the tweaker guy, and that's it. That's all. Just that guy. I can go. My soul can be in peace, and that's it. So I can't think of anything, even though Top Dollar calls him an Avenger. I get it, but in the literal sense of I'm avenging the death. So he understands, like, yo, you're back because we did you wrong. So only thing I could think of is John Wick. So
same, that would be the only closest comparison that I could even really make. Maybe Taken, but that's not in the last 5 years, right? That's older.
Yeah,
that's older. But
but she didn't die though, like so. Yeah.
I like this part because it's like the kind of like a Western kind of a framing and stuff.
Actually, here's the movie Sicario.
That's fair.
That's a whole different vibe in Sicario, though. I like Sicario. I think it's
very
good.
Well. The vengeance storyline, without spoiling it, was there. You know what I mean? We're talking about revenge movies, so to speak.
This is a funny scene, though. Don't move. I thought the police always said freeze.
Right.
And they just have this clever banter. Yeah, don't move or you're dead. And I heard you guys talking. I'm dead and I move. And then he sits down and they have a brief conversation while he's sitting on the curb.
Yeah, he's just sitting there like doesn't even care.
Because he's talking to me. He's like, "Oh, you don't remember me, do you? Do you remember her? Do you remember
Sally
Shelley Webster?" She's like, "Shelley Webster is dead, my friend." And it's just it's a very nice exchange, and it's because he doesn't recognize him. He has no idea that it's because why would he? Why in his brain would he plant that person in this place?
Because he watched him, like he saw his body being carried away, like he fell off like a 5-story building.
You're the dude who did Tintin, and he's like, he was already dead. He was dead the minute he touched her. He just didn't know it. Those are not clunky lines. I think those are good lines.
I like his rain cap that he has and how it's just always raining here.
I can't give me a shower cap. I'm so upset about that.
It was very Blade Runner in that sense because there's certain things when you do the rain and the lighting that goes on with it that makes it look really cool.
I will say, if you go back a frame real quick, Roman, for a second.
Yeah.
And that was the one thing that I noticed the most is even though he's very expressive here, like Brandon Lee did a great job of expressing his emotion through his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have to do much with his face because you can see it in his eyes. I think that's a very hard thing to do. And the fact that he did it in most of the scenes that I saw, I was like, okay, I can see why you didn't have to say much because I could see it in your eyes and some of the subsequent flashbacks. So, it was one thing I really noticed when I was watching it.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't really because Ernie Hudson just isn't that.
Not that guy.
He's not. Ernie Hudson is essentially a teddy bear in everything he's in. I mean, he's playing cop in this, yes, and then the Ghostbusters, but you can tell there's a genuinely nice guy in Ernie Hudson.
Hudson was in Marine for like half a year or something like that.
Half a year? Fuck, I got more time on the shitter than half a year.
Yeah, I don't know all the details, but like 6 months or 8 months or something like that.
So, but he has a playful exchange with him, trying to get him to just plant the seed of who he might be.
Mm-hmm.
And I say,
and then he gets distracted for like a second. This is where they're having this conversation. You don't remember me. And then the looters start coming, and he gets distracted, and then he's gone. He's like,
at least
fuck. Dude shows up looking like a mime from hell, and you let him go.
That was hilarious.
At least he doesn't. At least it didn't. At least it didn't.
Yeah.
At least it didn't do that. Walking against the wind. I hate that shit.
So the visuals here now, for those of you who remember talking about John Carpenter, remind me of Assault on Precinct 13.
Oh.
The way the streets were.
That's a dark fucking dirty movie too. Everything feels fucking nasty in that movie too.
Yeah.
That's a good movie. Ernie Hudson. No, Zach's, no. That was not fucking Ernie Hudson.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
God damn it.
Ernie Hudson played Jesus too? What was that?
Ernie Hudson plays Jesus.
I will say.
This scene, I liked this scene because it was so insanely 90s. Like, how do you not love it? Like, her lipstick is like all the way crazy.
Her hair looks like it's got so much hairspray in it. It could hold up a building.
That outfit,
yes.
The vampire vibes,
and the mountain of cocaine.
Yeah,
cocaine. I wanted to know what this guy did to have a mountain of cocaine, and all I hear is Mischief Night or the Devil's Night. I'm like, I know where's the cocaine coming from, guy?
I had so many questions about certain things in this.
It's insurance fraud.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Okay. I just, if I saw that guy come, I was like, I think I'm gonna have to flag this claim, guy.
Not going that way.
The actor is Michael Wincott. He's one of the great villain actors of all time.
Oh, yeah, him and Count of Monte Cristo running the Chateau
God,
D'If.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yes. He played Dave Gisborne in that Robin Hood film. He was one of the two reasons to watch it. Him and,
he was also a Rorschach in the Three Musketeers.
Yeah.
Their whole this whole relationship is creepy in the best way. Like you just get chills when you're like, oh,
there are powers
this is so against you. Now I know how we got stepsister porn. This is how it happened right here.
Zoinks. So she warns him here because she's got her lady witchy powers. That powers are gathering against him. I mean, it's very non-specific, but there is a threat coming, and they burn that nice dead lady's eyeballs.
Right. Jesus. All the power in the world resides in the eyes.
But I don't imagine it smells good.
No.
He's sucking in the smoke.
Waft this.
That's not good for your lungs,
sir.
Don't get high on your supply, guys.
I got a
actress,
problem.
by the way. By
one of my crew got himself perished.
And they also
can I ask a question?
Yes.
I asked a question. Where did they get the Candyman actor? Because it's like, did you apply for your job on LinkedIn? Because he's got a 3-piece suit and everything, and everyone else here looks like a hood or a fuck up or in goth. And here he is in a 3-piece suit and a hat. How did he get the job?
He's the only one who's like pulled together aside from Top Dollar.
That's why I was so confused. I was like, what do you mean to the group? Like, okay, someone's clearly submitted a LinkedIn resume of my henchman days to move up to your number 2.
Excuse me, sir. I would love to take the position as your henchman.
Right.
I worked over on 45th Street for, Tom Smith. We burned a lot of buildings over there.
And I brought him lots of cocaine.
New record for the zone. And
I can about guarantee you he's probably got the connections to get the cocaine.
I've got a lot of hoes. A lot of hoes.
Area code.
Plenty of eyes. Just eyes on demand.
So at this point, T-Bird is letting him know that Tintin got himself,
perished.
Yeeted.
Perished.
Like a
Thank
voodoo
you.
doll.
And his name is escaping me. I have it on another slide, but I have to turn this off. It's just not worth it because it doesn't really matter. Is letting him know that Gideon's blew up.
Pawn shop. Well, by all means, let's have a moment of silence for dear old
Just fucking beautiful, man.
Does a rail. Just like, wow.
And so we're talking about
kids. Don't do drugs. This is what happens.
And so Top Dollar is concerned about Gideon's blowing up though, because he didn't give that order. So he's like,
what happened?
Call it my need to know.
Okay, guys, you know how I said that I didn't like this movie? There were a lot of things that I enjoyed, like the art direction and the lighting and stuff. Like, this was one of my complaints. Like, what is the main goal of these villains?
Insurance fraud.
It doesn't.
Is that it? Because I didn't get that.
It doesn't
from
really.
This.
It doesn't really matter. Is the kind of the point?
Yeah, but it's like
their goal.
I can't
is
argue
mayhem.
that it doesn't matter, but also like, what are they trying to do? Just random, just going randomly blowing up buildings. It's like, why? It's like you mentioned something about we're trying to get the attention of the gods or something like that, but it's like I just felt like maybe just some vague idea of what they were doing would have been more.
Well, think about Joker
explanation
in The Dark Knight.
Yeah,
his goal was to bring chaos.
But he was very very expressive of his motivations to cause chaos and to do things that would just make people lose their minds and stuff like that. These guys don't say anything. It's just like we're doing this for Devil's Night.
So in the later scene, when he says, the idea was initially just insurance fraud, just to collect the money from arson and the whatnot. Then it became an institution to the fact that they have Devil's Night greeting cards. He wanted to put the fear back into Devil's Night. That is Top Dollar's motivation. It is fear.
Yeah, I just like, it comes so late in the story. You're like, okay.
I would have read that.
He's chaotic evil. He's
it wasn't really, the specifics of why weren't really important. They were evil men doing evil things, and that was quite in the context of this story. That was enough.
And then my other two complaints were like a lot of people that are in the band area, they're like associated with this guy, and because Eric was a musician and he was playing at this place too, it sort of like I didn't feel like he was any different from these bad guys and people that were in this club.
Well, on that aspect, a lot of bands can just come in and out and play music. A lot of those people in the crowd probably had no idea what was going on upstairs. I think more or less he was just an innocent bystander. The mass public has no idea who the top dogs are. He only knows this because he ends up going after the people who murdered him and his fiance. If he hadn't, if he hadn't have had that, he probably never would have known about this criminal network underneath.
Right, and that's
and the club was a front. The club was a front, so the top dollar had a clean area to operate in.
Right.
And then like the other thing with that, like Eric's relationship with Sarah, it's like how did they even come? Like, there's no like, I don't know if this was something they didn't film or something, but like how did they get to know each other? Or like I would have expected like some kind of a flashback or something like that. It's just like I didn't have I would have liked to have more of a like, I kind of feel like Eric needed a bit of a save the cat moment more than this is just some random person that was like killed wrongly and
that's the premise of the Crow in all the comics. Like even the future comics after, there's very little background ever given for the people who come back. The motivating thing is the incident that causes the death, and then the need for vengeance and the Crow bringing them back.
Yeah, I just thought like this, if there was more of a connection between Eric and Sarah. So.
Well, remember she said that they take care of me.
They take care of me, and I'm just like,
Shelley,
okay.
Which at the time we didn't really, at the moment of Shelley's death, and then Officer Albright said, I'm sorry about your sister. She's like, no, Shelley's not my sister. She just takes care of me, her and Eric. And we don't really get the context of that until we meet Darla. And then we understand, somehow they have crossed paths and they've taken this child under their umbrella because her mother is a whore. So I mean that for me that it works. I didn't need really more than that. I can understand that. Yeah, you don't get the background fully.
I mean, I kind of feel like given that the way they don't do it, I just would have thought that like with the flashbacks that we got between Eric and his girlfriend is that they would have included Sarah in that too, so you would know.
You did see Sarah and Shelley. They were like having she was in the room with them. They were like having a pillow fight because I guess that's what girls do. I don't understand you people. That's fine. And she was like smelling the flowers and everything, and but you didn't really see them doing yes, Joker.
Okay. So the singular event that kicks this entire thing off was Top Dollar was going to burn down the place where Shelley and Eric live. So they were doing a relocation initiative, and Shelley and Eric they refused, and they were trying to go through the city to try and preserve their home. Well, that's when they decided to they tracked down who started the entire initiative and went to Shelley and Eric's place, and Eric came in at the wrong time, got killed. So the entire thing was an insurance fraud. This was the entire premise, and it was two people just caught at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Fair.
Yeah, I think you like when it is explained to me that way, it seems to make sense. It's just not something I picked up from just sitting and watching the movie because they're not really clear about what the thugs like goals are.
You've only seen the movie once, though, right, Lady B?
Yeah.
I think all of us, aside from Ego, have seen the movie. What would you say, fellas? 100 or so times?
At least 10 times for sure.
I mean, that's really important story element, so it should be way more at the forefront, and they could say something. I mean, it's just a couple of lines, like saying we're doing it for the money now, but not anymore because this needs to be like reestablished or something.
The motivations are not important to me.
Roman.
All right, shut up.
Okay, so in the flashback scene, he walks in with the notice to Shelley and is saying, oh, it's you who's on this. And then later on, when T-Bird dies, he was like, oh, her, yeah, she wasn't going along with our relocation.
Yeah, I remember them saying that, but I had no idea what that even meant, and I didn't know what they were going to do, or like I was.
Well,
just...
again,
sweep it clean.
There are on-film scenes, so to speak, because he died.
True.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Was
Yeah.
like, was this something they couldn't film, or like, I don't know.
Yeah, they filmed it out of order, by the way. This movie was filmed entirely out of order.
Oh yeah, they always
it looks
do that
like
with
it.
Right. Okay. So now
So,
we get to Sarah.
So Sarah's skating down the street in the rain, like always. She's about to go out in front of a car because she's not paying attention because she's a child skateboarding in the rain. And he grabs her and she says something like, drop me, pervert, or whatever. And he explains that, the car couldn't have stopped. Now he's getting the memory flashbacks of her with, just hanging out at the apartment.
Right.
The
cat, the wedding dress, all hanging out. Yes.
And she looks at, she's like, what are you supposed to be, a clown? He's like, sometimes. and she's like, she's like, and can he, she says she wishes the rain would stop just once. He's like, it can't rain all the time.
Oh.
And then she catches that and she's like, Eric? And then of course she turns around and
he's out.
Gone. Oddly enough, I will say that the song It Can't Rain All the Time is probably the weakest link on that album. Which is
okay.
It's okay. It's okay, but it's not performed by Hangman's Joke, which would have actually been more interesting if they had done something. It is in the movie. She finds the record and she plays the thing. We'll see that in a second. But it's like, just like I said, it's Jane Siberry. It Can't Rain All the Time. So it's actually a lady artist singing the song. And I think it would have been more interesting if they had figured out a way to make that work, because you can do that kind of shit in movies. They do it all the fucking time. Like God damn it, it's the kid goes with the band, Fever Dog,
Almost
famous. Thank you.
Famous.
So that band didn't exist, but on the soundtrack, they have songs by that band.
Or like Queen of the Damn soundtrack is like that too.
So it's just kind of fun that way. So I wish they had done that on this album instead of having some kind of rando person do it. So
we don't like you, rando.
Officer Albrecht, she got a file for him from Homicide.
Mm-hmm.
They you don't this is the first time you're even meeting this character, but they have a very fun exchange. Mm-hmm. They're like real people having a conversation in an office. It's a hoot.
And then he colors it in like a coloring book.
Yes, and he draws and she's like, you're going to be working a fucking crosswalk by the time you're done here, buddy.
Right.
Because he's making the connections now.
Well, yeah, and it's also implied that, and then we eventually find out later that we can piece this.
The names on that are so funny. It's like More Devious, Eric Draven, Gunnar Lance, Tex Fowler, Brian Harden.
Right. So because of this, and then we find out that he got his gold shield taken away, and then later on, when he's like, when I started asking too many questions, you've got a sense of the guy who knocked him down to a beat cop is on the take. He's corrupt.
Right.
So now we're back on the rooftops. And this is a lovely scene.
Morphine!
Mother of the Year, Part 2.
This is she's actually, you've probably seen this actress in a lot of things, but she's almost unrecognizable in
Bad Boys
film.
The original Bad Boys.
Wow.
So here's her and Fun Boy having a lovely evening together.
Just get high.
If you haven't shot up morphine with your special lady, perhaps you're not doing it right, gentlemen. So
Not at all.
This is just, I love this.
Oh, that is a beautiful shot.
Crouched
That's
up
a great
with
shot.
crow
Yeah.
on his shoulder. It's just fucking killer.
Says ho, in case we had any doubts.
What's up, homies? We about to.
Oh, thank you for that. I never noticed that, but that just warmed my heart. In case you're curious, yes, ho. So the crow flies into the room, and she's like,
bird,
big fucking bird
over there.
It's a squawk.
It's a
And then
squawk.
he's trying to call the bird like a fucking weirdo. And then Eric comes into the room. There he is, calling the bird.
Boy.
Ugh. Yeah, you get crow vision here. I like crow vision. You know what I liked about it? It wasn't overused either.
Okay.
They used it very, very little, but it made enough of an impact when they used it. It wasn't
And
like
Dempsey is right. This is the scene where the accident happened. Yes. And the guy who was playing Fun Boy has never acted since. He felt absolutely
what?
Yeah.
It was legit not his fault. It wasn't even the prop guy's fault. This was a
Massey
weird
movies and stuff since then.
That guy there?
Yeah, that's Massey. You've seen him in a ton of stuff.
Who? Well, what's his
Michael
name?
Massey.
Yeah.
Here, we can pull him up on IMDb. Hang on.
Dempsey says he was in Supernatural.
Yeah, he's a supporting actor in like
Really?
tons and tons of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think in the
if you saw,
what did I do? Oh god, what did I do? What did I do?
We lost someone.
I killed Ego. Ego,
We
come
lost
back.
one.
I'm back. I'm sorry.
That was
Hold
my
on.
fault.
Go ahead.
That was my fault. No,
Okay.
I wanted to
Okay.
minimize this.
I've been
for a
wrong.
second,
I've been wrong before. It's fine.
Yeah, he didn't stop acting at all.
No, but Joker is right. He stopped acting for a while. It was like a year and a half before he did another gig.
that might be true. I'm just saying, but
No. He paused because he felt responsible, though he wasn't. But so he took a long pause in acting and then got back in. He never really did anything significant after this, though. It was all kind of bit pieces, just kind of whatever stuff.
Yeah.
Just
all the guys who played these the gangsters, like the
They're all
guy
stage
who played
actors.
T-Bird, that's Sully from Commando.
Yes.
You see, these are all like they all played bit roles for the most part. Like they're all like the the villain of the week or the villain's henchman or whatever. These guys made careers of that stuff.
Well, and TV Bird was also in the Warriors. He's the guy who did the bottles.
Yep.
That is him?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Wow.
Come out.
Yeah, he's
and
been around for a
play.
minute.
Wow. Did not know
so
that.
this
Okay.
so this is when he starts going, here, fun
Hey,
boy,
fun
fun
boy."
boy. And he just
You got-
runs up on the fucking bed. The guitar is not plugged in anything, but it just makes this weird fucking
Playing
chime
solo.
sound off the fucking the strings. And
You
Fun
got
Boy's
me
like,
dead bang.
"Fuck." Oh yeah, this
You
is
are-
great.
You are seriously fucked up. You need professional help.
I love how, like a meth head is saying, you need professional help. Like, and you don't, mother effer.
So puts his hand over the gun and
You got me dead bang.
That was pretty cool.
boom, blows a hole
He
through his
shoots.
fucking hand.
He scores.
He's just not like
Like he
not
fucking does
having it.
something
Like,
great.
oh, oops.
And he's like, oh, that
Jesus.
really fucking hurt. Because he does feel pain.
Jesus
And
Christ.
now he's laughing. He's looking
Jesus.
through the
That
hole
was
in his hand.
that was cool.
Fucking crazy.
That was pretty cool.
Jesus
And then he's
Christ.
watching. Then it closes up as he's laughing more. And Funny Boy's like, oh fuck.
Ooh.
Stop me if you've heard this one.
Oh yes.
Jesus Christ walks in and into a bar. Bang.
Boom.
Ow.
And she's just over there like,
Yeah, Darla.
Triple
What
ball
this
screen.
reminded me of
All
was
hell.
like Train Spotting.
Yeah.
Like there's so many scenes kind of like this where it's like something extremely messed up happens and like the people there are just like, ah.
And the end
Like
of the
the
joke
dead
is,
baby
"You put me up
thing.
for the night." And Funboy's about to shoot him again, and Eric slaps the gun down, so he shoots himself in the leg like a fucking idiot. But the line is funny. He looks at the blood. He's like, "Look what you've done to my sheets."
He's so concerned about his bed sheets. He's like, "Oh, I have a hole in my leg." But
I
my
can't even
sheets-
imagine what is on your sheets, Funboy. Because again, everything in this world is dark and dirty and disgusting.
Don't take a black light into that room.
No,
Not at all. No, thank you.
So
Burn it.
Darla's hiding in the bathroom, and
Mother,
Eric's
look.
dragging Funboy behind him.
Look.
And I like this. He throws him in the tub, puts cold water in him because he doesn't want him to die yet. Because he's not ready for him to die yet. And now he's having the memories
I got a
of
gun
him.
in my pocket.
Again, they're just so vile. This whole group is so vile and repulsive. They just exude that. They did such a good job with making them as hateable as they could possibly be.
Right.
Also, go back a second to that
Wanna go back
previous
to that
one.
one?
If you notice, like he makes the Jesus joke in this flashback. Flashback,
Oh, wow,
the
I never
dude kind
noticed
of like
that.
looks like Jesus, and the cross beams
the
kind of
cross.
look like a cross. So like
Wow.
you understand why he makes the Jesus joke, kind of.
Okay.
That is
Oh.
a good observation, Mando. Fuck, I never noticed that before.
Good call, Mando.
Wow. Zoinks. And now we're back with Darla and a straight razor.
That's funny.
And now he notices her.
And then it
Again,
says-
look the shot itself. Look at this place.
That's awesome.
Just
yeah.
look at it. The fucking
Like even the places that are supposed to be clean are just
fucking disgusting.
just
This kind of
nasty.
reminds me of like, have
Is
you
that
ever
a
seen
boiler in the
Detroit,
bathroom?
like,
Yeah.
It's like a
That's
virtual
that's
guy.
water
Oh,
heater.
God.
Virtual guy to the real Detroit.
It looks like this movie Into the Void, like especially with the overhead shot. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. That is a freaking trip. Like, oh my goodness.
And
Into the
then
void. I am not
and then
familiar.
he-
what is that about, Lady B?
Oh my goodness. How do you
Cthulhu.
describe that movie? It's
I don't know it.
early 2000s, and it's kind of like a trip where this guy that's a total drunkie gets like murdered by a gang, and then most of the movie is what his spirit sees. And
Oh,
he kind
wow.
of goes around like following like his sister is there, the drug dealers, like figuring out that he's dead, like these weird kind of trippy like transcendental moments where his spirit is just going into the void.
That's interesting. Almost
Yeah, it's
Interesting.
something if you want to see an interesting
you-
like an art movie like that's kind of like an artistic thing. The soundtrack is really trippy, like colors are pretty.
And I
Look.
love this.
Mother is the name
This
for
is-
God on the
yes.
hearts and lips of all children.
I love
That
that
was a
line
hard
a
line.
lot.
Your daughter is out there in the street waiting for
Waiting
you.
for you.
Morphine
Stop
is
hoeing.
bad for you. And he squeezes the arm and the morphine comes out.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was
awesome.
interesting.
Because he's got, magic superpowers that can suck it back out of her blood.
Your daughter is out there on the street.
She's clean right there.
We're waiting for
Yeah,
you.
you can
And-
tell the look of her is immediately different.
Right.
Yeah.
Her
And
face is different.
and she's not part of the plan.
No,
Mhm.
she's not part of the plan.
Lets her go.
Look at the intenseness on his face.
Yes.
It's just so good. So she's gone.
And then-
Now he gets to deal with
like-
Fun Boy.
It's like, okay, where was I? Oh yeah. Ding ding.
I have this.
No, you're wasting.
Oh, yeah, I
it.
know. So Gideon has made his way down to the bar in the pit, and Top Dollar, second in command, has found him.
Drinking Crown. It's
Drinking
fine.
Crown, like a king.
And then he's got a nice little burn on top of his head, so he takes his hat and just pop.
Yeah, just squishes it in there. It's
Like
hilarious.
he's still got his little pinky up with this cocktail. Got to protect the nail.
Well, I think
That's
it's because I think his hand is broken in several places, so it's in an unnatural position as well. But it
And
also
then-
makes it convenient.
And then also he takes a sip. If I wanted ice, I would ask for ice. Now fill it up. I'm in pain.
And so now, Fun Boy is coming out of the shower, and he's like, "No, man, no."
You're gonna waste it.
And Darla runs out. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have those slides. So Darla runs out of the pit.
Hey, good night.
Yeah.
Darla. Everybody laughs.
Darla.
But it gets him and he's like, oh, something fucked up happened upstairs because he knows Fun Boy lives there. And he goes up to investigate. And he walks through and he finds that he's still alive at this point.
Right.
Breathing poorly. And Eric is just going out the back window and he does one of these. Gone. And he looks around and he's nowhere to be found, of course.
Is he holding a Mac 10? I was trying to figure out the entire movie. Is that his go-to is a Mac 10, right?
I think so.
He just pulls it. I'm like, where the hell did this come from?
He's got a big trench coat. It's just like hidden underneath his armpit or something.
And that's why I'm like, the Matrix had to have gotten their ideas from this movie.
Well, the Mac 10,
like Blade too.
Yeah, the Mac 10 was the big, like, like movie / like music video gun, for bad guys and gangsters and all that. And around this time,
so
like 85.
This is nice.
Yeah.
Good. I mean, it's a good pattern. Nice
Group.
Right over the heart, anatomically correct.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction a little bit right there.
I love this scene so much. This may be one of my favorite scenes.
He's just in his boxers at home.
He's wearing his hat, you guys. That was the funniest thing about this scene is like the hat with the shower cap.
Yup.
He's not. Because he starts talking to him. He's like, "You're dead, my friend." He's like, "You're still wearing your hat on."
Why are you still wearing your hat?
I think that was like a poignant comment to make, though. It's like, well, hey, even though he's completely out of clothes, he's still technically on the job.
He's always on the job.
He takes it home.
It's a good
so I was
observation.
like, that's a great statement for someone that. I was like, that's actually a great statement. He's still on the job. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Now
he gets in a beer.
Just so you know, Tony Todd's character's name is Grange.
I don't know if that's ever uttered in the movie.
I didn't hear it
What is
at all.
the significance of all of the electrical tape he suddenly acquired on his person?
I think it's to patch up his wounds,
his midsection, and it's all over the place.
Yeah.
So he needs.
That's just my assumption.
If he deviates from the mission, he doesn't heal. Darla wasn't part of the mission.
Oh, okay.
Razors. I didn't know that. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
He's a revenant. He's driven to do one thing: kill the.
Yeah, that's a word that I kept thinking of was a really good idea for this. Is a revenant.
He literally is a revenant. Yeah.
Yeah, this is something that remains, and the only reason why it's still there is it's just there to wreak vengeance.
So he needs more information than he has. He wants Officer Albrecht to tell him what happened.
And he goes by and he's like, well, look there. And then no, he needs to feel it too, to feel it.
And so he gets it. He touches him and puts both his hands on his head for just a couple seconds, and he goes onto the floor, clearly in pain from
Don't touch me!
The flash of what happened. And we don't actually we don't even know.
Yeah,
but we don't know that at this point. We don't know how.
I'm curious. How did he know that?
No, it said that. No, because
does he say that here?
30 hours. Hung on for 30 hours and then just quit.
He stayed with her the whole time.
Correct.
You stayed
How
with her.
How did Eric know that though? I mean, I could kind of see maybe this is something.
Well, he probably
he stayed with
the memories. He's getting the passage of time.
And plus, he also says, "Look, it's right there. Shelley Webster hung on for 30 hours."
And then her body just gave up.
Right.
So Ernie Hudson and Mrs. Hudson.
The former Mrs. Hudson.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're getting divorced, and he's trying to tell them not to get divorced.
Such a great thing. It's funny. Shelley used to obsess about the littlest things. I used to think that they were trivial. Believe me, nothing is trivial.
Nothing is.
Oh,
hey. Thank you, Placid, for your
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Wow,
don't do that.
Placid.
Don't do that.
Placid
don't do
coming
that.
in and
don't
fucking
do that.
it up immediately.
Don't
well
do that.
played, my friend. But welcome, my buddy.
And
what the fuck? He's got a basketball and a trombone.
And he's also
I
got.
know.
I have no idea what the fuck's happening in that scene there.
And very early Bud Light bottles, short neck, the red, silver, and the blue markings before they went gay. I'm just saying.
Oh my!
True.
And he's got open milk in his fucking kitchen. He's gonna die. He's not living healthy. So
I mean, this whole
reason why
movie
he's
is
getting
very
divorced.
dank
That's
and
the real
dirty.
reason.
So
I was surprised
it
his
is-
house
although-
was so clean. Personally,
Officer, this is one of the cleaner scenes in the movie. It doesn't
and
look
all of the
disgusting.
like
It looks-
cigarette
everything's
things are in the
pretty
little tray.
neat.
Like,
respectively. The lighting is also very different in this scene than in most of the film. You get
more
like regular lighting here, like regular people lighting, because Officer Albrecht is a regular person.
Right.
He's
And
just a
then,
normal dude. So that's
and
why
then-
you get the lighting. That's why it looks normal, because he's normal.
and I love the line. And I love the line. So you're gonna jump out. So you're gonna jump out the window again. Thought I'd use your front door.
And then he's gone.
Next tracks.
Oh boy!
and then
Oh boy!
he gets the villain
Yeah!
So fucking funny. I love this scene.
Oh, fucking dial.
So Gideon is giving his account of what happened at the pawn shop, and Top Dollar is really not having it. He thinks Gideon is somehow in on this. I don't know why, because they're all fucked up, terrible people. Probably that's why.
I ain't making this up. I ain't twisted like you two fucks.
You two fucks, and they starts laughing like he just made a joke. Well, Top Dollar didn't really think it was much of a joke.
Look at that vampire hair. Look at this. How do you say this guy ain't a vampire, dude? Look at his freaking chest.
And look at all those swords and
and then he just turns around and shoves it through his fucking neck.
Well, not at first, because at first it's just like boom, and he's toying with him, and he's like, so then he tells him everything he knows. He's like, "Did you want to relax that thing now?" Okay.
No, that's yes. Laugh. Uh-oh, I got a sword in my fucking throat.
Love it.
And then
he's like, "Why don't you just die already?"
That doesn't kill him. He's like, you just fucking die.
And
boom.
A great lunge, a great thrust.
It was a
to do
very
that
nice
sword.
thrust.
Like,
So he
fucking,
borrows
fucking dial ready. Pa. Thanks.
Oh, I'm sorry. Why does this out of sequence? That's irritating.
And as soon as my cousin and I saw that scene, we're like, "There's gonna be a sword fight at the end of this."
How is that not a sword fight? I mean, come on. It's like he's a vampire. You got a sword fight.
So now
The
Eric's up
undead
in the room
fighting the
playing guitar.
undead.
I'll send someone to clean this
The
up.
guitar scenes were
weird, man.
Okay.
Probably the
they
only
were, they were a bit out
unnecessary
of
scenes.
place. Yeah, the guitar scenes were the most out of place things in the movie.
This one
I
was.
get it. He was a musician. He's already so out of touch with who he was. I don't know that this would actually be a thing.
I don't know
I'm
that
trying
it
to figure,
added
like,
anything.
I
to the
thought he'd be in a
story.
power stance of some sort, not just leaning
comes
over,
later.
sitting on a.
That
like
comes
you-
later.
It does. It does
Okay,
come
that's fair.
later,
That's
but
fair. That is fair. I thought
it
he'd be
was
out
What's
the
with the
gate
beak
power
on the
stance.
crow? That looks really fake.
he's got extra crow on him here. There's a little more crow there than I'm comfortable with. So now we're again with just the beautiful model shot of the city stuff though, and you got the little. I mean, that's him down here, but you get this great cityscape that's just all model, and they put this together. I love stuff like this so much better than I like CGI.
Yeah, me too.
So Sarah Monster comes home and she's rifling through the albums, and she finds a vinyl pressing of Hangman's Joke, and she puts on the song. And then the crow shows up and it gets stuck on that one spot. It can't rain all the time. It can't rain all the time. And then it flies off. And
and she's like, "Come out."
All it is doing is making connection there. I mean, that's it.
I like
It doesn't
how it
really
just
serve.
says "don't" there. Like this is like, don't do this. Don't do it, girl. Great. Another like noir like visual element there.
So this is kind of funny. Fucking Skank is such a fucking retard piece of shit. He's terrible. He's like the lowest level of being in this show. So T-Bird is him, because Fun Boy doesn't show up. Tintin is dead. They're the ones that are left. So they're doing the fire it up thing, which I find very annoying.
Yeah.
But the funny
That's
part
very
about
true.
the scene is that fucking Skank does it like one more time than T-Bird does.
Yeah,
Because
true.
T-Bird's like done with it. He's like, fire it. I guess we're good.
You're tweaking.
Just
bro.
left
Calm
him
down.
hanging.
Fucking
Yeah.
weirdo. So he sends him in to get what do you say? Snacks and road beers, something like that. Smokes and road beers.
Smokes from a beer.
So gets in his
I like
very
this car. Very like grindhouse.
the door opens on the bottom, which is weird because every time you see him bending down, I think he's like hiding from something, but he's not. He's opening the door, which is kind of peculiar, but whatever. So Skank is in here just fucking up the store because Skank has the IQ of, I would say, as high as 65. But
I was thinking 35.
Well, I wouldn't say a lot higher than that.
That's true.
So T-Bird's in the car lighting up his signature cigar, which I'm sure is quite exclusive, probably Cuban.
Probably.
And then Eric's in the back seat. He didn't do the check, which is very important. You learn that in what is it, Zombie World?
Yeah, Zombieland.
Zombieland.
Mm-hmm.
Always check the back seat. So he's back there and he's like, who are you? Who the fuck are you? I'm your passenger. Drive. And of course, fucking dummy.
This was Uber before Uber was a thing.
What the fuck? Hey, his chips all stuck to him. I don't understand. What is going on in your life that you can have this look? It's not a good look. I
I just want to know chips he was eating. Those look good as hell. I'm not gonna lie.
Pringles, yeah.
Ripped
They look
open.
like
They're
Pringles.
spilling out through the
Druggitos.
store.
Yeah.
Chuggy.
And so he runs out after the car and he gets hit by, I think it's a Yugo. It looks like a Yugo.
That's so sad.
Which is a very
The story
small
reminded me of
Yugoslavian
like
import,
Sin
for those of
City,
you.
like this part.
Just disgusting. Everything looks so fucking terrible. And the big guy gets out and he's like, what the fuck, you little ass hair? You hit my car. And then Fun Boy kicks him in the junk, or not Fun Boy, I'm sorry, Skink kicks him in the junk and then just kind of sucker punches him and then he lays him out. It steals the car. And then he's like, so what do you want, man? Drugs?
You did.
Honey? I got you.
You remember what I said? I kill you last.
Yeah. And he's like, drive faster. And here's Skank driving like a fucking weirdo through the cracked windshield. You got some crow vision going on here again, not overutilized, which I appreciate. The police are chasing them. It's funny though, when they start chasing them, T-Bird's like, hey, you're making friends. What is it?
They don't flash that light when they want to be friends.
Yeah, they don't flash that light when they want to be friends. You're making us popular. When they flash that light, they want to be friends. Look, ick, yeah, disgusting.
Everything
I thought
about
he had
this whole movie was
herpes.
dirty.
Like that lip was just good. God.
I don't even know what's going on there. It's not
Mhm.
good.
I don't
He
know.
had some sort of disease.
He just ate a crap sandwich.
Something.
So he's chasing the car, and then the police end up emerging and crashing to him. He crawls out of the
Sure.
crash vehicle.
Was he wearing a seatbelt and just gets bumped out?
I don't
of the
imagine
car?
he was. I don't think Skank is really the type that wore a seatbelt. If I were,
Well,
I
The
mean,
pro-
seatbelts around this time weren't really required, right?
If Top Gun had
no,
a great
actually, they
organization,
were
he
at
would
this
require
point.
them to wear a
Seatbelts
seatbelt.
became a requirement in the
Mm-hmm.
late
Okay.
80s, early 90s. I think.
Correct.
Good.
And
God.
he was driving
There
a
you go.
he was driving a Yugo,
That seatbelt won't come off.
Yes.
which was a 3-cylinder engine.
It's basically a putt
Was
putt
that?
or
It's a
tut tut.
putt-putt.
Excuse me.
Oh,
There are
okay.
Yugo
Gotcha. I see.
graveyards in Europe where they sold these fucking pieces of garbage.
Yugoslavia.
like
You're one of my
thousands of
favorite visual of the
out
whole
there.
movie.
This is a Yugo car.
Yes.
It's
Yugoslavian. import.
Yugoslavia. Wow, I'm done. Okay, wow.
All
I'm
the
looking at
Yugo.
it. This is in every like 90s or 80s chase movie. That's the car. Sorry, guys.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. I didn't know it was a Yugo. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Because
Keep going. Keep going.
they were cheap. I mean, you could buy a brand new 4-speed Yugo for less than $3,000.
Yeah, they were very
Wow.
expensive. Yeah, a pint
when
of
the
blood
Soviet
and
Union broke
maybe
down, they
like
had
a
tons
back
of them
rub,
just
and you
left
got
over,
you
brand new, that they can sell for cheap.
And a hamster.
Wow.
and a hamster.
Hamster.
What it goes without saying.
Good
So
Lord.
this
I
is
know
where
More
T-Bird
information.
figures out who he is.
Right. Oh, wait. But we killed you. There ain't no coming back. This is the real world. There ain't no coming back. There ain't no coming back.
And what he does is he puts that duct tape up on his eyes so he can't close his eyelids.
There won't be
Ah.
coming back for you.
And he
just makes himself a small space rocket ship.
kind of drops the hammer, throws a grenade in his crotch, and lets it go. He does a little wave,
Right.
and then the
And
car
then-
goes off the pier.
And
All
this,
he's doing
oh,
is- yeah.
that
My favorite visual of the whole thing.
the visual is absolutely gorgeous.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Look at that with that.
Blowing
Look
it
at
from
the truss
bottom
coming
up,
off
yeah.
the front there. That's impressive.
Right.
That's cool.
And then
Two
like the
Universal
photos
Studios
later on.
versions.
There you go.
Oh,
Go ahead and shine for Joker's voice. There you go.
Yeah, baby.
I love the scene photos later on. It's like he was fused to the seat.
yeah.
They
Yes.
could not distinguish his body from the car.
But
So
if
now
he threw him the
they're-
hand grenade, wouldn't he exploded?
Details.
Don't
details.
ask too many questions.
Don't
lady.
ask it questions.
So Top Dollar's guy has now figured
Range.
out. Oh fuck,
Range.
he's out of the fucking grave.
I'm actually surprised this wasn't his half sister that was doing this. Like as far as like as into it as you would have expected, I would have expected
Well-
her to go out and be like, "Oh no, the energy is released from
protects-
this place."
No.
You know what I mean?
He
Really?
protects her. She is kept close at all times.
She's a kept
Got
woman.
it.
Right.
I see. Okay, that's why I was confused. Okay.
And now we're back with Darla. This is a
Mother
fun
of the
Your
year.
brain. This is your brain on drugs.
Now, as funny as this scene is,
Come on,
I-
you guys know that. You're
Yo.
I do.
on.
I do. I do.
I have
That
lived
is
through
fair.
this experience. Okay,
I
guys,
couldn't buy
I-
stickers from strangers because of that ad.
when you're a kid, you come home to this like your mom had a substance use problem for a long time, and you come home on the first day
You're
she
gonna
doesn't
be
have
like,
it.
what happened?
You're like,
Who
what
the
fuck?
heck? Who the hell are you? And why are you here
And it's
cooking
literally
breakfast?
like-
Do you
like
need
it's-
money?
that actually makes more sense. Yes, Jacob. It was a
It-
phosphorus grenade. Okay,
It's such a
that makes
change.
sense.
I can
of-
buy
of-
that because that's just
God,
burn. That's what a phosphorus.
I have
grenade
so
is gonna
many
do.
questions about Jacob's like explosive knowledge.
Don't worry about that. Ask the raccoons
Mm.
because they really know.
I
Um,
see.
So Darla's cooking, and she's like, apple juice. She's like, I don't even like eggs.
yeah.
And
Oh,
this is where she
love
says
eggs.
it. What'd you take to become Mother of the Year, Darla?
Darla.
Darla.
And that's where she's like, basically, fuck it. I was never built for this mommy shit anyway.
Right.
And then she's
Over
like,
easy,
no.
over easy.
Hold up.
Crazy.
Hold up. Yeah.
Mom.
yeah.
And
I
she
like
throws
it.
in a
It's like-
mom at the end of
She
that.
calls him mom.
Exactly.
To
First
bring
time.
it
Well, because
back.
like at the heart of every kid, like they want to have their mom be a decent human being.
I'd
Like,
like that.
some moms are like mine and never recovered with their brains.
Now still
They
running
became
with
the
pack,
scrambled
I believe.
eggs.
But again, this goes back to, and as you said, it wasn't drugs. Someone just kind of set me on the right
Woke me up
path.
or something. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
And
On
again,
the right path. Mhm.
mother
But again, look at the way the
Mother-
scene is shot.
Mother is the
This
name.
is-
Mother is the name for God on the hearts and lips of all children.
There's sun coming through the window.
Mhm.
It's basically a normally lit scene. We go
Mhm.
back
Right.
to that. This is what normal life should be.
Right.
So they did such a good job with these representations. This is where he's looking at the picture of T-Bird fused to the fucking car because he's like, we're gonna have to get dental records to figure out who this is. He's like, oh, that's T-Bird. Looks like he's
I
zigged
don't
when
like
he
it's
should
just
have zagged.
so obvious
And
as
look-
to her.
Yeah, it looks like he zigged when he should have zagged.
Should have said.
Bullshit! I got a clown face. And then he's like, "You got anything to say?" No. I was waiting for you to get done. It's a nice speech.
Nice speech, really good. You should write that shit down though.
That was
again-
funny.
But again, consistent throughout the entire thing. He never this character has, again, the corny dialogue. It's This is completely consistent with this character from the first time from the first time you see him till the end. It is just this is great.
So right now, Torres is accusing him of knowing something,
right, and holding out on him.
And he's not, and he's keeping his mouth shut. And he's like, congratulations, welcome to the first day of your suspension. He's like, suspension for what?
Misconduct.
Fuck off, piece of shit. And so now Sarah has wandered back to the apartment
because she's figured it out.
Yeah, it's
Again,
funny that
this
they're only
reminds me of Blade Runner, like how Roy Batty goes up there. Remember, like at the end.
So Eric is up here burning pictures. He's touching a picture, getting a memory, burning a picture. There's not a lot of point to that, but whatever.
I just think it's funny that only 2 people figured out his identity, or 3 people now figured out his identity. Just from being like smart and having a brain. Why is the cat still white?
I'm like, how is it so white? I had a white cat, and it's like she would get around things, and she was an indoor cat, but man, it's like one time she started going in the fireplace, and it's not even wasn't even dirty, and then it was like she had smudges on her, and she was playing with my makeup brush, and then she ended up with like a bunch of like foundation on her nose. Like she was a mess.
It's the nice
this is
the cats are connected supernaturally to what's going on.
Yeah.
They don't play as much in the movie. Roman, if you just highlight me for a second, this is I have the scene. This is the Mother of the Name of God scene right here. Try to get the right one for you. The cats are the ones who lead Darla out of the building. He says, I have some friends waiting for you to take you down. Right?
That's cute. Okay. Why wasn't that in the movie? Like a ton of cats. Like, that's
and plus,
Lady B, you have to read it. You have to read it.
Okay, I'm gonna read it now. You've convinced me.
Actually, plus, Lady B, if you want it, there's a link I can send you.
Okay, send it to me.
It gives you different options as well as far. And Matt, you said the one because I can send her the deluxe, which is
you can click on any of them, the deluxe, the digital, or the soft cover. The deluxe is $25. The soft cover is like $15 or whatever. They're all the same. There's just the hardcover versus not.
It's all free.
Oh, I know it. Yeah,
it's all free.
We Jack Sparrow that stuff.
I have free,
and then
Jack Sparrow.
Well, and plus, I support James L. Barr deserves our money, though. He's a creator who deserves our money.
That's true. He did some amazing stuff here.
Yeah.
And
I love this. Go ahead. Guys. I got to take. This may take a bit longer. I have a thing I need to do. It's just that time of the evening. But I maybe 5 to 7 minutes. I know that's a long time, but be clever. I'm going to actually take the video off for a sec so that way you
Roman, if you share let me share what I'm showing. I could show some pictures from the graphic.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Where's your? Throw it up, Matt.
Well, hold on. I gotta grab it. Give me a second.
So
I took a couple of screenshots basically.
I was also saying now the cat being white is a nice contrast to the Dark Crow.
Yeah,
very true. Cool. Very, very true. Okay. So is that the main book that's based on the movie?
Yeah, that's the cover of the special edition. This is the back cover.
Ooh,
nice.
And I love this line. It's not death if you refuse it. And then I got some shots from inside. This is what the actual underneath the jacket looks like. It's very well done.
It's not bad. No. And the book is worth reading.
Yeah,
this is all right. Adding to the cart now. All right.
The special edition has added stuff that because when O'Barr did The Crow, it was a 4-issue like miniseries, so to speak, if I remember correctly, or 5 issues. Though he wrote like an extra 2 or 3 comics worth of stuff. The special edition has it all back in.
And it all makes sense with this main story.
Well, it made sense without it, but this adds context to it. Like this is a flashback to the good times.
I really like the art. It's very like 80s like rock art.
Yep. And you see how I was saying how the shadows highlight the light, like there's less shadow and more light. And then when you go to
the different arts,
you see how the shadow becomes more predominant and the light fades.
That is really pretty.
And this is the Skull Cowboy.
Okay, who is the Skull Cowboy?
Okay, so when you get taken back by the crow, right? The crow is sort of like your spirit guide to accomplish the mission. The crow kind of does talk to you a little bit, but the skull cowboy is sort of like an arbiter. Like when if you dilly dally too much, the skull cowboy comes up and goes, "Come on, get a move along," you know. Or in the big break from which we're about to get to from the comic to the movie. So you know, in the comic, the crow is indestructible. You can't do what they do in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah. But in the comic, as soon as he killed the gangbangers, his mission was done. He was supposed to go back to the grave and go back to Shelley, right?
Okay.
And he finds out in both cases that Sarah has been kidnapped, right, by Top Dog, and Top Dollar. Sorry, in the movie, the crow is still empowering him, so he goes after him, and then they kill the crow and empower him. In the comic, the Skull Cowboy Crow says, "Wait a minute, you can't. This is it. Which is all your mission is for, to get the ones who killed Shelley, not to save anyone, not to avenge yourself, just to, you know, if you go from this point, you're mortal now, and you'll be alone."
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll be alone. And then he goes to an awesome line. He goes to Cowboy, "I was alone from this in the beginning." It's you know, and then he goes and he can die. There's actual sense that he could fail to save the girl.
Okay. God, I wish they would have had this somehow. But I guess if he isn't in there to film it in the beginning, you wouldn't know
that
who
was the
the
thing.
character was.
All the Skull Cowboy scenes, he died before they filmed them. Yeah, no, but it's. I mean, this is probably one of my top 25 comic series of all time in terms of things I could recommend. It's so beautifully drawn. You know, I have a digital copy of it somewhere in the depths of my archive. I don't know where it is right now. But
do a deep dive.
Yeah, deep dive.
But it's
you know,
cool. Never read the sequels. Which they're not sequels since they have anything to do with the story of the crow. They're just the crow brings other people back for other vengeances. You know,
correct.
The same artwork carries through. Obar, for the most part, the same quality of writing. The origin of this, by the way, he was inspired is the wrong word. I guess driven. His fiance died. Obar, and he was very despondent, and she was killed by a drunk driver.
Oh,
wow! So he was taken to a very dark place for a long time, and so he invented the crow concept. You know, especially the first story.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Damn. It's funny enough. I got into more as I got older. My cousin was what I would call a crow shield to begin with. Because when I was going to see the movie because of Brandon Lee, I was a big Brandon Lee fan from the two movies that we talked about already, Big Showdown in Little China, Tokyo, and Rapid Fire. And I had a thing for the actress from Rapid Fire, I had a big thing for her at the time. So it was like, you know, but
nice.
My cousin's like, no, we got to go see this because The Crow is a great comic book. You know, we both had our different comics we read. So I saw it, and I started reading his Crow comics and got into it as I got older. You know, and I don't want to say this in a bad way, but the more tragedy you experience in life, the more meaningful the story becomes.
Fair.
You know.
I dig it, man. Not bad at all.
So did the author of this comic book series, did he write anything else other than this?
Like 15 more Crow follow-ups for the most part.
Wow.
You know, they also the next one's it's called Crow Deadlights or what's Crow Dead something. The Crow Dead something.
And then there were some really bad sequels to this film.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. The only reason I know Mark Dacascos is a thing was because I saw that he was on the show for Mark.
The show was the show.
When y'all said The Crow, I was like, oh, it was a TV show, right? Like, no, it was a comic and it was a movie. I was like, oh, I see. So I have not seen this at all.
I mean, I like Mark Dacascos, but the TV show was horrible.
And the second film, we see a grown up Sarah, and that's the only tie to this film.
But it's not the same.
Hold on, like what? Why was he even? What was the point of him? What was the point of coming back in the second one, or even?
No, it's not him. It's a different guy.
Yeah. I know it's not him. I'm just like, well, how do you bring him back for a second one? Like I thought he went like it's the afterlife after that one.
No. Okay. Yeah. So the concept is, if someone dies and then there's a horrible weight on their soul that something so wrong has happened that the soul can't rest. So then a crow brings that soul back to set the wrong things right. So now the crow is not Eric. Anyone can be a crow, because in the second film, in the second film, it's a guy named Ash who his son dies.
Which conceptually would have worked if they had done a better movie.
Correct.
Yeah.
Isn't that the story of our lives? Like, there are so many movies that could have been great if they were done right.
The third movie, if it had been the third movie, was okay. It wasn't great. It was
There's a third one?
There's a fourth one, which is like, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
There's one.
The thurd one second.
Probably a reason why most of us don't know that.
You know?
Yeah, because I believe it's the third one was with Edward Furlong.
Yeah, Edward Furlong.
Whoa, really?
Not Furlong.
Yeah.
Furlong was the fourth one with the guy who played Angel.
Okay, so then the third one I believe had Kirsten Dunst in it.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now I will say, you don't ever need to watch 2, 3, and 4, but the soundtracks for
there's
2
a
and 3
fourth
are
one.
awesome.
Yeah, there's a fourth.
Mm-hmm.
How do you make them any damn? Oh my god!
Well, I mean, like, there's a ton of like sequel movies to different things that nobody else knows about because they
they made
and again the way this works is it's not the same person every single time.
Yeah,
it is a soul that has been wronged.
Yeah,
it would have been kind of cool to see this story like done in like different time periods too.
Oh yeah,
well, he does write them in different time periods.
Oh, that's cool.
Not like extreme different time periods, but like it's not all set in the early 90s, if you know what I mean. You know?
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
Like I said, when they were doing the Crow sequels, movie-wise, they had the concept right. It's a different Crow. They just made bad movies,
right?
Know?
Yeah,
so,
I mean, in what was it? In the fourth film, as you said, now it is Edward Furlong, David Boreanaz, and Tara Reid,
and the guy who played David Boreanaz, he literally played Angel as the bad guy.
Yeah,
and the funny thing is, I think the fourth Crow is one of the few movies that's as bad as Highlander: The Source.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. That's saying something.
And also they tried to make it look I use that word very strongly. Tried to make it look. They tried to make the character look the same, and there's no reason why the character would look the same.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't make sense. So it took on this stupid. That's why those sequels. I mean, there's many reasons why the sequels didn't work, but that's a reason why the sequels didn't work for me. Was you're trying to do a repeat of the character, and it's not the same fucking character. So
right.
All right, thanks for hanging in there, guys. I appreciate that. So she goes back to the apartment, and she's talking to the cat, and she's talking to Eric. She's actually having a dialogue like he's there, but then
to hell with you.
I know you're there.
Yeah, I thought you cared.
Then to hell with you. I thought you cared, and then
he's like, but I do care.
I do care, Sarah. And you got beautiful shot.
I like that image a lot.
That's
an amazing image.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Because, and again, as the sun comes out and he's able, he reveals himself. Yes.
So you get a very nice scene here.
Moment. Yes.
And then we're back with fucking this scene is hilarious.
Yes. Vampire guy comes back.
Here's to you, buddy.
Top Dog's like, maybe we should just record this and play it back.
I like what Vampire Boy there.
And he's working his way back to the speed freak. Did you check the grave? Empty. Grave? What grave? What about my grave?
My fucking grave. and then Top Dog kill my ass. Backhands him and he ends up on the floor.
This ghost gonna kill my ass.
Dempsey has a comment. I think he was talking about the artwork in from the Crow comic. Dempsey, that particular art style,
it looks like
from that time period, like in the comics, it was all over the place, right? But it filtered over into like music videos and stuff. Like you're talking about the Aha Take Me On
I see
video.
what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. So that was a thing of that 85 to 99 type of period with music and art and like musicians inspired by comic artists and like when Neil Gaiman did revise Lucifer. Lucifer was supposed to look like David Bowie in the 1980s. You know,
he does not in the series. Although I do like Tom Ellis. I think Tom Ellis is a very good actor.
Yeah. He could have pulled it off, but anyway, the point I'm getting at is there was a lot of that cross pollination with art styles between all the different stuff back then. That was a pretty good comment there, Dempsey.
Word.
Okay, so now we are back at that ill-fated hot dog stand. And but there's
I wonder how.
Dude, that has got to be great food because they keep going back there.
It's gotta be. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, like, to be honest, most of the hole-in-the-wall places that look disgusting usually have the best food. You just don't ask questions. You just do not ask any questions about the cleanliness or anything else.
Your health rates are below a B. It's great food.
I am saying I was a New York street dog, a Philly street dog, nothing like it. That is some good eating right there.
Fair point.
Yeah,
Fair
here's
point.
the deal. If I have the word street and dog together, I'm probably not consuming it.
You do not know what you do not know
have
what
to.
I know you're probably worried about getting some sort of disease, which is fine. You might do that, but it's good to be great food.
Well, yeah, you have to. You gotta do it.
I know Roman's thinking of those hot dogs wrapped in bacon.
Oh,
and they're always cooking it with like a sterno tray on like a little
sidebar here. Little sidebar here. There,
street tacos are life.
There is a place. There's a place out here called a Dirt Dog, bacon wrapped hot dogs, Texas toast fused with LA street food. So we have
You had me at bacon.
That's peculiar.
Yeah. So like a elote dog.
Oh,
right?
He doesn't eat them, but that's the answer. He does not eat
don't put corn on a hot dog. That's weird.
It was yummy. It was so good.
And I'm in Iowa right now, so if that's weird to me and there's just corn everywhere.
Welcome to the corn area. We get corny.
It's not scary yet. It's only about knee high.
So they're talking here. She's like,
careful of the children of the corn.
They can't come back, can they? And Albert's like, I didn't used to think so.
I thought that.
Like, are we crazy? I think we're both crazy. Yeah, we're kind of crazy. Did you see what I saw? Yeah.
And then here we go.
Now we're on the roof again. While it is largely irrelevant scene, it looks really good.
It looks cool.
Everything.
He's just playing.
Because it leads in because he's almost done and he's just ramping up.
And then he smashes the guitar, the amp, all the shit because
and then that just
over.
Boom.
And then we're back into the club again. Boom, boom, da 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 da. Heavy grinding music of the 90s.
Industrial sounding.
This guy, he looks like Lane Stanley, but he doesn't sound like Lane Stanley.
Yeah, he does.
Now you're in a room filled with cocaine and money and guns. This is a great over-the-table shot. It's just
I just don't understand why are they wanting to mix up their cocaine with the dirty dollar bills, man?
That's how you get busted.
That's how they roll.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys are all like very different types of gangsters. You have like clear street guys, and you have guys in suits, and it's kind of a big mix of the guys under the umbrella of Top Dollar.
This is okay. So this is the power structure of the city. These are the architects of power. And then Bailing says something. I like the pretty lights, and I was like, ha ha ha. And she's like,
I'm like very
because Top Dollar says the entire city should be on fire by now.
Not yet.
And she says, I like the pretty lights. And they all laugh. And she gets this look on her face like, fuck off.
Why are you laughing? Yeah.
And I love this is a funny fucking thing because he turns to Skank and I forget the question he asks him. But
how do you feel? I feel like a little worm on a big fucking hook.
He feels
You
like a
little
big
worm on a big
worm on a
damn fucking
big
hook.
fucking
Well,
hook.
your mama
Yeah.
must be proud of you.
It's just
This is
Michael
the thing that
Wincott's
just
delivery is just
solidified for me.
fucking
He is
killer.
he just wants chaos for chaos, and he just wants to
Yes.
see the world
That's
burn.
what I mean. That's why he reminds me of the Joker character in that all the stuff, while it has given him power and all these things, has only so much meaning to him. He really wants chaos. It gives him
Yes.
excitement. It makes him feel alive. You
And
know,
then-
it's just bizarre.
And then he goes into his
Yes, the
skeleton.
long speech.
Yeah, his Skeletor speech.
Fair.
We must see the world
Well,
burn.
Well, you know, when I first
Next
started,
time, friends.
I lit the first goddamn fires in this city.
Right.
And he goes
You know
on.
what they
and on,
have
you know,
now? Devil's Night greeting cards.
the idea has become
Come
an
the
institution.
Yeah, he doesn't like the
Um,
commercialization of chaos.
No,
Yeah.
and they're like, so what do you want us to stop, boss? He's like, no, I want you to light the biggest goddamn fire this city's ever seen. I want the
I want
gods
the
to
gods
notice us
to
again.
I want you to look at me in the face and say, "Are we having fun or what?"
It's just like you're a nutbag. That's what I mean.
Mhm.
That's why he
Fair.
reminds me of Joker, because he wants the
Because
chaos.
okay,
This is
because
before.
again,
This is before that
this is-
screen portrayal of Joker, of course.
and this is a great visual scene, because as it comes up to his face, it's all dark, and then he looks up, and his face is just brightly lit. It's like, oh, right there. Oh, that is a beautiful shot.
And then when he comes into the room, the bird comes
Gentlemen!
in first, and
What the fuck?
how the fuck did that thing get in here?
You get that
Gentlemen,
messed up hair, like it's so hair game on point.
and
Here it is.
and she's like, "Ooh, hello, bird." Hi there.
Fuck. Yeah, gentlemen. And then he throws the chair down. He hops up on the table. I love
just
it.
sits
I
there.
love the
That was cool.
casualness
That was
of
cool.
it. The casualness
So-
of it. I am
so
here to
you're-
kill all of you.
So you're him, the Avenger, killer of killers.
Mhm.
Like, bro,
What
I
was
just want
part-
that guy.
Yeah,
That's
I
all.
I
just
love it
want
because it's
him.
I
like
just want him.
Well,
Well,
you
you
can't
can't have
have him.
Well, I see you've majored. I see you've majored decision. Now let's see you enforce it. Oh, for fuck's sake, I'm getting bored already.
Of course.
Kill him.
That was
Kill him.
cool.
What were you saying, Lady
this,
Balefire?
this is the
I was just gonna say I love this part
And they
because it's
unload
so
into him.
unabashedly like cheesy. It's like
Mhm.
all the villains around the table, and here comes the
No,
guy
it
going-
is. It is. It's like the classic, cartoon
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, like
Except it's so dark and horrible. It's wonderful.
yeah.
And then from here, it's like a big John Woo set piece.
Yeah, the big
Yes, it
shootout scene.
was.
Yeah.
They're
Right?
all laughing like everything's
You're right.
fine, and this dude's like, "Hey, he's fucking gone."
He's got a
Bah!
beret. Like, come on.
Lots of firefighting. Boom, boom, boom.
Two guns, very John Woo, right there.
Oh yeah.
He did. He did not
Just
really
shit
one
exploding
time either.
everywhere. It's a lot of fun to watch. Visually, it's a hoot. I think he's stabbing someone there.
It's
Yep.
raining money.
I love how they're all
That's
just like
cool.
shooting.
And he turns around and he says, "You're all going to
Gonna
die."
die.
I guess like I don't understand all of these guys just sitting there or standing there shooting him with like they're constantly berating him with like bullets, and not one of them just stops and's like, "This is not doing anything, guys. Let's get the hell out of here."
One of them has to be thinking maybe the other guys missed. Mine will do it. Mine will do it.
And now the villains are dropping down into the real
Into the
world
club.
where the band and the clubs are, the actual place, and people are getting panicked down there, and they're like, "Fuck this."
And then it goes, and then from here, it has this really eerie sound to it.
And he
Then-
finds
then-
Skank.
Then-
That's not, and he's like,
Not a good
"What does he
day.
say?"
It's not a good day to be a bad guy, huh, Skank? I'm not Skank. That's Skank right there. Skank's dead.
Yes,
right.
he is. And then Skank. Oh yeah, and he gets the visual,
Mhm.
the memory, the terrible memory of the rape, and he throws Skank out the window. And Skank gets a very quick lesson in gravity.
What the crap?
And then all the cops are
gravity
down there,
always works.
Weird.
Gravity is your friend. Use gravity. And he just kind of tap dances out the window.
Game over, man. Boom. And then
and they start shooting at him. Everybody's shooting at him. Ernie Hudson's like, what the fuck? God damn it. And it's funny because he's following his line on the skyline as he's running across the buildings. And everybody else is not paying attention to that. I don't know what they're paying attention to, honestly. Get in the car.
And then he says, there's so many cops out here that think they're
giving away donuts. Which is fucking brilliant. That's just funny. So driving, pull over, looks out the window. Fuck, he's gone.
Blood all over that man's cup.
He's like, I knew he was going to do that.
So is the late Eric Draven.
So they're driving. So it's what's his name again?
Grange.
Range with a G.
Glasses point and his
glasses,
like MC Hammer suit.
So that was the late great Eric Draven, and then they're talking in the back seat, and she's like, I know how to take his fucking power. You get the crow, you steal his fucking power.
The crow is his link between the land of the living.
And that's a movie, as I said before, when you weren't here, Roman. That's a movie thing, not a comic thing.
Okay. Yeah, because that was supposed to be
mission accomplished.
It just didn't exist. Yeah,
it's mission accomplished as far as the comic is concerned right now,
right.
as I said before. So he's supposed to go back, and this is where in the comic the Skull Cowboy shows up when he finds out that Sarah.
And he's on his way back at this point. I mean,
and I should point out, if you guys missed that, like the whole like skeleton cowboy that tells like Eric kind of what his limitations of his power would have said, then your mission is over and you're going to be immortal now, which is one of my criticisms for this part. So that was one of the parts that they couldn't film because he died. So
right.
It makes me better to retract my criticism of that.
But on his way back, he does appear to be feeling again, though. Like it looks like he feels cold here. Like he's starting to exit.
Mm-hmm.
And the kids, this is the Halloween kids. That's kind of an interesting scene where they kind of circle around him and he just laughs, and it fades out on that. It's a kind of a weird shot.
I think it's just to reflect him like going back to the happy place.
Yeah, So he's back at the grave, and he finds Sarah sleeping here, and she's like, "I know you're going to tell me I shouldn't be in the graveyard at night." And he's like, "Safest place in the world."
Mm-hmm.
And she knows he's leaving now. She thinks he's done too.
I mean, everyone thinks he's done. Besides
the other people. Guys, they don't think he's done. So he gives her the ring. They say goodbye. It's a very sweet scene.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and she's on her way out, and then
well, he goes, I gave this to Shelley once.
Hmm.
I think she'd like you to have it. And that's it, and that's the engagement ring.
Which is very sweet. It's a very sweet gesture.
Sweet.
And like I said, so now, he grabs her, and they are in the big church next door. And
what's that? Is that kind of a gift from your friend there? Why don't I just hold on to this? I like her eyes, so innocent. Oh no! Then he's like, "Whoa,
crow vision, help me!"
Mm-hmm.
Like, God damn it! I was fucking done. I love him walking through the church.
The visual of that is gorgeous,
incredible.
Yeah.
So when he goes to the doors, I don't know if I have the shot of him of the overhead. I don't, which is unfortunate. Him walking through the aisle of the church is really wonderful because the pews are all kind of misaligned, and it's just such a great from above shot. It's just fucking beautiful.
See, I love the image of the doors opening. He's walking in. He looks up, and then the crow just comes past him. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
that is just menacing. It is back to work, and let's go.
So you think he's targeting Eric, but he's not.
No, he's going after the crow. Oh, quick.
Vampire fight.
Quick.
Vampires fighting.
So Crow gets shot. So Crow is shot at this point.
And now we're gonna have a quick impression here. Go, bang, fuck, I'm dead.
And so now he drops. He's actually wounded.
Well, he says,
yes.
He says, give me the girl, I'll let you leave. Let me think about that. Bang. And he's like, oh, fuck, I'm bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
Seems our life has undergone a drastic change in the last few minutes.
Hasn't it now?
So Sarah's tied up in the belfry here. This is where he says he says him, he does the kick and the blah, the thing. But then
the evil thing.
Fucking Ernie Hudson comes in blasting away like fucking John Wayne.
Yeah.
Pew pew
Can't
pew pew
kill
pew
a
pew.
vampire.
Yup.
Everybody was missing all over the place.
So she's
I swear, I thought you were about to say everybody was kung fu fighting.
It was fast as lightning. It was a little bit frightening.
Vex! Mando! Vex is here.
Oh, hello, Vex.
Yeah, what up, Vex?
Sister!
I love Vex. Everybody loves Vex. Vex is wonderful.
Vex Lady Balefire is now an honorary scissor sister.
I know that from watching stupid Wheel of Prime. That's so horrible. Oh my goodness.
Damn it. So Ernie Hudson blows away top dollars, dude.
Right.
And this he's like, so I've got a plan. You lead the way and I'll just follow behind you until they run out of ammo. And he's like, that would have worked.
That's a good idea.
And he's like, what? He's like, I thought you were invincible. He's like, I was.
I'm
not anymore. And Ernie Hudson's like, mother dick.
Mother's dick.
That's the mother dick scene.
Okay.
It's 2023. Never know.
Right. Special.
What is a woman?
What is a woman?
And then he comes to the Bailing, who has the crow. She's like, this is all the power you ever had. Now it is mine. And then
that whole scene was really just a little weird for me.
It's over the top a little bit.
So she shoots him, Ernie Hudson, and he's like, you were supposed to be behind me. He's like, yeah, I think I fucked up. And so this is all the power you will ever have, and now it's mine. And then the crow says, fuck you off. I'm gonna peck out your fucking eyes.
You like eyes? Here you go.
Like, yeah, bitch.
Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, for all the eyes you've taken, it's now time for yours to be taken.
Look at that. Just bloody gore. It's beautiful.
And she falls.
Oh, and that's this scene. Let her go.
Obligatory roof
Classic
scene.
on the roofs. Yeah, choice of words up here, buddy. Let her go. No.
Like, don't do that.
All right.
And
he throws her down.
Very, very poor choice of words. Yeah.
So now you have the fight. He grabs one of the steeples off
Weather
the
vane, I think.
Right after it got struck with lightning. I'm like, what was the lightning for?
It's like some good imagery, though.
Too.
Hot.
Swinging, sword fighting, falling. Again, that beautiful outside. I mean, I know it's a miniature, but it looks fucking great.
It does look really good.
That miniature, which is like real life, looks so much better than any of the CGI that we have today. Like, I'd rather have miniatures like that where you have to just zoom in instead of just doing CGI. Because CGI is, like, granted, yes, it's technically harder than this, but I feel like it feels more real when you do real props.
Yes, when you have a physical thing there, it does.
If it's done too much, it just robs the soul.
Mm-hmm.
So you get another great close up. The crow is alive. So he still has his power in the movie. I know it's different in the comic. So she's going through the roof at this point. She's having some hard times. And he's going to rescue her. And he gets the sword through the back.
Well,
Dun, dun, dun.
It looks
my
uncomfortable.
daddy said, well, my daddy
Like
said,
Thanos said, he should have gone for the head.
Always, it's the vampires. Come on, you got to cut off the head, burn the body.
He does. I love it. His speech here is good. He's like, my
daddy once told me every man's got a devil. You can't rest until you find him. Sorry what happened to you and your girlfriend, but I made that call to clear that building. Heck, nothing happens in this town without me. So I am sorry if I spoiled the wedding plans, but if it's any consolation, you have put a smile on my face.
And Eric retorts,
perfect narcissism.
I've got something
for you.
I don't want it anymore.
30 hours of pain, all at once, all for you.
Oh, and you get the zoom on it. It's just nice. And he's like, fuck. And then he falls. This fall is really well. I like the shot. It's not real, but I still like the look of it. And then he gets impaled on the gargoyle, and the blood comes out the gargoyle's mouth. I think it's just
was pretty awesome.
Very vampire.
It was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
He scoops up poor Sarah, who's been falling through the roof for a while now. Brings her back down to Officer Albright.
Stay with him. Oh, he wants to smoke first. He's like,
yes, he wants to smoke. And Eric lights it, and he's like, oh, that's disgusting.
Quitting as of right now.
As of this moment.
As long as I live.
Quitter.
and then he basically disappears. And he's like, he does that.
He does that.
And he goes back to the grave.
This is gorgeous. And he's tired.
He's dying. He's dying. He's dying again at this point. This form of him is dying.
And then you get the light, and then you get to see Shelly, and it's just, oh, I'll be all right. Hey,
Torres. And we're back where we started.
You missed it.
Yep. Full circle.
Missed it again.
Yeah, because he says, hey, I've got your vigilante. He's up on the roof. He's dead, and you missed it.
Again.
And so poor Eric's out here. And then, the Shelly scene, I love this a lot.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. Absolutely fucking gorgeous.
She puts his hand on his head, his eyes open.
And his breath. And
you can see it. You can see the breath around him, which is interesting, the way the shot is done.
Yeah.
There's a crow.
And then
he gives back the ring to her.
So at this scene, though, everything is closed up again. Everything looks as it did.
Mm-hmm.
The ground is closed.
Right.
There is no eruption anymore. It's very interesting. Yeah, he gives her the ring. The crow kept the ring and he gave it back to Sarah.
Correct.
And she says thanks. And then you get the narrative on the outro.
Right. Oh.
Yeah.
Such an amazing film. Absolutely such an amazing film.
I mean, based on the original, the work that it's chosen from is also remarkable. You don't get a story that good based on nothing. He did a really good job of adaptation, given that he did have to work within certain parameters and certain things changed very radically on him.
In the inability to have the Skull Cowboy character, I think that would have improved the movie a lot, which is why I was going to say I wasn't going to go after it too hard till I figure out what they actually were able to film and what they couldn't. Right. So that's fair. So Matt, how does it end?
So Lady B, have you changed your opinion at all on this?
Okay,
let Matt tell me and then I'll answer you.
So remember in the comic, he had top dollar is dead, blah blah, past all that, right? So the crow actually talks to him in the comic, okay, especially in his dreams. So I don't remember the sequencing exactly, but he's either dying and stuck in a dream state, or he goes into a in between place or whatever. And the crow says, and he's like, "Well, what do we do next? I accomplished the mission or whatever, And the crow's like, "It wasn't about the act of doing; it was about forgiveness." And he goes, "I can't forgive them." He goes, "No, you need to forgive yourself because what drove him back was he thought he should have protected her. He loved her so
Right.
much, and he couldn't forgive himself for not protecting her. Okay, and then so then what's next? And then he goes, so how do I explain this? So he had a gun next to him, like a spirit gun, I guess you would say. And then all of a sudden, a horse comes up, a symbolic of him, a dead horse. And the metaphor is he has to shoot a dead horse. And as soon as he forgives himself, and right after that, the Skull Cowboy shows up with the train to the afterlife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I'll post the list. Yes, this is a mega spoiler, but
it's a spoiler that's almost 20 years old now.
It's like
Yeah.
spoiler.
It's one of the coolest.
Yeah.
It's one of the coolest looking scenes.
Oh wow!
Oh wow, that is
That's
really
cool.
beautiful.
Avarice Exodus, body exit.
Yeah,
That's pretty
Now
cool.
it's black and white, but
that's beautiful though.
I mean,
Page turn
the
back.
black
I'm
and
gonna
white.
try
I mean,
page
it
turn
works
one
so
back.
well with this book.
So here you go. This is where the
sorry,
crow. This is where the crow kind of explains to him what's going on. There's the dead symbolic dead horse he has to kill and all that. It's an amazing. Like it sounds obviously overly simplistic when you're just talking about it. When you
No,
read
but
it,
it's like
you
a
know,
symbolic thing that
Yeah.
shows up visually really well too.
yeah.
Okay, so has your overall opinion of this film changed?
I did like it for the artistic value and the obvious influence that it had on other movies. So I really appreciate that. Still, like, there's something I just didn't feel like a real attachment to any of the characters. Like, I'm like, okay, it's cool. Like, I just didn't care enough because I didn't see enough establishment of like motivation for the bad guys, and then the relationship between Eric and Sarah.
Okay.
I would.
And Ego, after this being your first time seeing this film, your overall thoughts?
I actually liked it. I mean, it was very simple, and again, I kind of missed it. Because I didn't see it in theaters, I don't know how it would have translated. It's kind of like a movie that would be something you'd watch because it was on Netflix, or back when you had basic cable that would just show up on like UPN or something like that. You'd watch it.
Well, it wasn't like a box office success. It's one of those films that, like a lot of films, like Highlander, became very popular after.
Once it got to VHS.
Well, it took off. I mean, obviously because of his death too, and all that. The so-called curse of Bruce Lee.
I mean, it was like a cult classic movie, and I can kind of see that because a lot of them aren't great, but like it has like a really it captures the zeitgeist. Like it has a very significant like culturally to the film stuff and stuff like that. So I appreciate it for that. It's like I probably wouldn't watch it again, but I'm glad that I saw it, so I know what it is.
Lady B, if you choose to read it, right? I'm not going to say you're going to spend $25, you don't have it or whatever. But if you choose to read it, give yourself like a month or so to digest it and watch the film one more time and see if it's like
makes more sense.
It's like David Lynch's Dune. I tell people all the time, you had no idea what was going on in that movie unless you read the book, right? So I tell people, and I'm not saying that 84 Dune is a great movie, but once you read the book, go back and watch it, and with the pieces filled in your head, see if you can gain a different sense of enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, that's a good point, because it's like there's a lot of stuff nowadays where it's like you don't really get a story unless you've seen or you've read the book, and a lot of adaptations. And I think that's a major problem with adaptations, and that's why I was probably like, I didn't like this as much as I would have. But you have convinced me on the book. Like, I want to read the book now.
Yes, I didn't even know what the fuck The Crow was when I saw this movie. I was in port with a buddy, and he's like, "Hey, let's go see this movie." I'm like, "All right, I'll go."
I feel like seeing it in Seattle is probably like the best place you could see this movie.
I saw this and I saw this. I was living in Orange County, California. I walked out.
I'm sorry.
It was what it was. I was working at the Tragic Kingdom at the time, so and so I went in and saw it, and I walked out, and I'm like, that is one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen.
Yeah, it blew my mind when I saw it. It really did. I was very taken aback. Remember, so I'm 24 years old when I see this movie. I'm a much younger man when I see this, and it's like
I was 23.
This was
94?
fucking insane.
it
I'd never seen anything like it.
I was 2 years old when this came out.
Shut up, Mando.
Shut
So
up, Mando.
there
Considerably
wasn't
older.
there wasn't something like this to compare it to.
I
No.
think I
It
was like
was.
13.
It was
when this
like,
came out.
wow. It blew me away. So, Lady B, I did send you a link, by the way, in the
Thank you.
Twitter feed. So
I appreciate it. I'm like I said, it's like when I tell you there's like things that like you can. A lot of people take for granted this kind of stuff because of all of the technology that came out. Like I can definitely see in like comic book movies where like Sin City got all its like visual stuff was like I don't think you could have Sin City without this movie. I don't think you could have like a lot of other graphic adaptations like 300. I think I can see the influence on so many other movies that I appreciate it for that. So I don't want to say like I just hate this movie and that's it because that's not true. I liked it. Wouldn't see it again, and I'm glad I saw it because now it fills in a lot of film history stuff.
Well, the interesting thing is, like a lot of computer monitors we have and TVs we have now are almost as good an experience as theaters were back in 1990s.
Yeah,
So
and I saw it on a pretty large
actually
screen
true.
TV.
Yeah. So like us older folks who were used to like those 4x3 pixelated TVs, you know, like and you go to the movie and it's a spectacular letterbox with all this audio.
Yeah,
you know,
I remember those days well.
Yeah, and then nowadays, like I have these two 24-inch 4K monitors that have been great or whatever, but like I could see a movie like weighted almost in the theater. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's really cool. But the kind of weird thing with that too is like I think there's something that was lost in translation with like the actual physical film medium that you would see that would kind of work in concert with the projection so that it actually had its like own like look of things. It's like if you've ever seen like silver nitrate film like from like the silver screen of like 1920s and stuff like that, and that's so beautiful. There's like a luminosity to that black and white film, and seeing like when you see something like this and it's like in the original format that it was like, I think there's a softness I think in the visual stuff that would make it look even better. But either way, I did like the visuals of this and the miniatures and the lighting was amazing and the noir stuff.
Lady B, actually, Lady B and Ego. I think the rest of you are probably covered on this, but I'm not sure. Have you seen the film Dark City?
Long time ago. It was on UPN.
It was a while ago.
So Dark City is going to be, like I said, I'm doing this on June 29th. I'm going to look at Alex Proyas' next movie, Dark City.
Yeah.
Rufus Sewell, Jennifer Connelly.
Oh, Rufus Sewell's hottie.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Fucking, he's dead now. He was General Ross.
John Hurt.
It's also
William Hurt.
It's also Alex Proyas' last good movie.
I mean, it's got, but then Alex Proyas just kind of went into the wind after that. He did like one more that had some value.
He did two really bad movies. iRobot and and the Gods of Egypt movie.
He got
iRobot was bad in execution. Okay. Concept worked. Concept worked.
Not if you read the book.
Dark City is incredible.
Oh, there's a book. Okay,
Isaac Asimov.
Okay.
So
books are always better than movies.
Like I said, so we're going to be visiting that on the 29th. If you'd like to be part of that, let me know.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm not sure
because
because I'm going to be driving from probably California to Iowa for the summer.
Oh, dear.
You said the 29th?
Stop in Vegas.
29,
Hell yeah.
Thursday, 5 p.m.
I live out here.
Oh, okay. Okay, if we go that way, like I'll do that.
All right.
Just let me know. Let me know in the chat or in the chat, in the DM. That way, I've got you because I won't remember because I'm mildly inebriated, but
and you're like 50 million years old,
and I'm ancient. That's the other thing. So I've got two things going against me right now.
And you shake your beard.
So this I enjoyed this a lot.
It was fun. Like it was a good thing to like watch and talk about and see some of the like. It made me appreciate it a lot more.
And it's cool because we get all of our different perspectives on this. Matt has a lot of knowledge on this, which is fantastic. And I like you guys who have never seen it before giving what you have seen in this movie because it is very different through new eyes. But it's interesting though, because you're looking at it from a 2023 perspective, whereas when I saw it the first time, and Joker as well,
you're like, this is amazing.
It's a totally different thing. So it's burned into my brain a different way than you're seeing it, because you've seen all the shit since then.
Yeah,
So
that's weird.
Back in the day,
I can kind of like, I can take that and say like, I've seen other stuff like this, but I can also recognize this is the first time it does that. And I've definitely had some amazing cinematic like experiences with stuff. Like one of my favorite silent movies, or actually it was one of the first sound. It had sound in it actually, but it was a movie called Sunrise, and I like that movie a lot. Like it's really good. It was the same kind of thing with that, where you like, if you never saw that, like you'd be wet, or like watching Joan of Arc, like in the Criterion collection of that. And you're like, what is this movie? But then you realize this is the first movie that ever had a close up. And you're just like, wow.
No, it's the wow moments that happen.
You're just like, wow, this had never been done before. So I could see this, and I could see how other people did that. That was awesome.
So that's, like I said, that's why I have the feeling in my heart for this movie.
I could totally see how people who saw this when it come out would be like, yeah, this is the movie.
The fucking soundtrack is
also, the soundtrack slaps. Like I'm gonna like listen to that probably when it gets
good. So again, find it on.
I'm gonna like do my Spotify in like a bit.
Like I said, you saw it. I bought it on vinyl. I mean, I've had it for years on digital, but I bought it on vinyl because I was like, if there's a soundtrack I need to have, it's the fucking Crow. And I'm like, oh, here it is, and in the collection it goes. So, I think we've done a pretty good wrap up of this.
Yeah.
We covered a lot of material tonight, and thank you so much, guys. That was
that was
really
fun.
good
Thanks,
interaction.
guys. Nice to meet like pretty much everyone except Matt and Roman. You guys are new. And
nice to meet you too.
Thank you, and thank you for the cat.
The one last thing to say, Roman. When the Crow happened. Like, remember, you and I could remember, we had like maybe the adaptation to 8 of Transformers, the movie, the 2 Batman films from Michael Keaton Batman movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were beginning to see a peak of these adaptations coming in. Obviously, Lord of the Rings around 2000. And we thought we were on Nirvana, 15 or 20 years. We thought, and then even the first couple Marvel movies, like it's starting in the 2000s.
Yeah,
now, but we're in a sine wave. We're like we're doing this. Now all of a sudden we're way down here. And and we can hope it curves back up. It's not a polynomial that just disappears, but we'll come back up because
it'll probably come back in like 20 years. I give it like 20 years and it'll start coming back.
Well, thanks, Mando, because I won't be dead then or anything.
Damn.
Cool.
We'll cryogenically preserve your head.
Yes, Mando, we'll do like we did in Futurama.
Style.
You have to go to all of our graves.
Lord, am I going to be like Hitler's head inside a glass jar? Oh, that would be nice.
Here you go, Roman. You ready for streaming?
Please let me die. I'm so tired. All right.
Getting good stuff again, Roman.
We're going to wrap it up tonight. So thank you so much, you guys, for being here tonight. We're going to go around the panel and do, what do you have coming up?
Hey, Roman,
but I do want to, like I said, this is a conversation I've been wanting to have, and this was a really nice way to do it. So thank you guys for being here for that.
My pleasure.
And thank you to that 70s Rock fan for being here as long as he possibly can. Because I love that guy. He's on. So Joker, what is on the planner?
What's on the plan is I gotta record my video for tomorrow morning after I get off here. That will be for the Netflix series Food Bar. Episodes 3 and 4.
I haven't watched it yet. Should I? Yes or no? Can you give me your yes or no?
So far, I don't. Hey, I'm halfway through it, and I don't hate it. So that's a good.
That's all I can look for at this point.
And then tomorrow night I will be on. Legion Talk 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. For Friday night's Royal Rumble, I will be simulcasting that from my channel as well. It's been a pleasure being on here. Lady B, was a pleasure to finally to meet you. I've been you. Like I said, I've been the fan boying the entire time. Ego Matt, always a pleasure. Scissor Sister.
Roman, why do you keep letting us be on the same panel? You know we're gonna do this.
I know.
It's great. It's wonderful. It's the greatest panel ever. It's amazing. I don't think about amazing panels.
So many
I
flashbacks.
have lots of panels.
Oh.
I mean, I could always bust out this voice and just make the panel even crazier.
I don't know what to do. I'm mildly panicked.
That's pretty cool, though.
I have different
I gotta
voices I can do.
No! Don't tell her it's cool. Ego. Never. Don't encourage this. What's wrong with you?
I do
just wanna
this
know
all the
what you
time on
got
my
it.
Twitch streams. I hope you know, like, I have a redeem on my Twitch streams where you can change my voice live. So
Wow,
really weird.
that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool to me.
I-
I'm not gonna lie.
That's terrifying on so many levels. So, Mando, what do you have coming up?
So, this Saturday on my Literary Soul stream, where we talk about all things books, literature, and literature adjacent things, I'm gonna have like some of the most amazing people on the internet on my panel. It's gonna be me, a Troubled Green, or Aleja, as many of you know her, Megan from the Noob Review, my friend Smile a While, Miss Martin Muses, and a possible surprise guest when she responds back to my messages. I keep messaging you,
Wow.
respond back. And we're gonna be talking about The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe this Saturday. Yes, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. It's gonna be freaking amazing. This panel of ladies is awesome. We love books. We love talking about C.S. Lewis, and we love talking about Chronicles of Narnia. So it's gonna be great. So that's gonna be the biggest show that I'm gonna be doing this Saturday. Of course, on Sundays I do my my podcast with my friend Wicked Virtue. We call it Unplugged with Wicked and Mando, and it's gonna be on her channel this week. And also, I'm trying to do a thing where at the end of this month I get up to 200 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I'm trying to do more things for my YouTube channel. I'm at 179. Woot.
I am 35 away from 500.
Yeah. I would try and subscribe to you again, but
Yeah.
That's fine.
Just
So, yeah,
sub and
that's-
resub like we do to Flaccid every day.
most time you can find me on Twitch. I usually stream Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, a variety of games. The game that I'm really enjoying right now is called Sea of Thieves, and it's basically a sailing game where you are a pirate and you can sail around the sea and you get eaten by megalodons. It's great.
Nice.
That does
But
sound
not
fun.
Krakens?
That does sound fun.
There's a Kraken, yes.
Okay, good. There needs to be a Kraken.
Of course, yes, but it's a surprise spawn because sometimes I'll be like just sailing. I'm like, look at the pretty sky, it's beautiful, and then you hear music and you're just like, basically, it's just like
Okay, I like
I
pirates
can't
a
get
lot.
out. There's no way. And if you have Xbox Game Pass, the game is free. So,
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
so yeah, that's me.
Left eye.
So, LeftEyeE.G.O, what do you have coming up, buddy?
All right, guys. So, video for a movie review that I'm working on with my guy, the Stuntman, which you guys will see probably next week. I'm going to be going live on Saturday with my man, Abomination AG, 4-hour Heroes No Capes episode. I think we're on 58 now.
Nice.
And I think the next day, that Sunday, the wife and I show will be going live with our Ordinary Games podcast. You'll hear
Those are
about.
always nice.
Thank you. You'll hear about my harrowing journey on a flight from here to North Carolina. So stay tuned to that Sunday at 5 o'clock Central. But that's what I got for Ego.
Right on, right
Awesome.
on. Lady Balefire, what? do you
Okay, so
have?
I am again going to do my big like summer stay over in Iowa. So I'll be busy for pretty much up until like the first week of July. But I will be
Oh, wow.
doing with Zach's channel on every Wednesday night. What's Good Wednesdays. He had his big birthday yesterday. It was birthday.
Yes.
that was a really awesome stream. And yeah, I might be able to do my like Spider-Man critique. Like that movie was like something else. Like I
That
have
was
so
something.
many feelings. I need to like definitely just put them down. And yeah, that was a movie. And hopefully I could do that. If not, then I don't know. It might happen. It might not. It's just really crazy. I'm not at my home. I don't have all my stuff, and it's a little difficult to set everything up. But thank you guys for having me in. I'm glad to have met everyone like Left Eye, Joker, Mando. Always good to see you, Matt and Roman.
Been a pleasure.
Yes, thank you so much for coming. Thank
you.
first time on the show. It's very exciting. Hopefully you'll come back and you haven't been
Oh,
terrified away.
definitely.
So,
I mean, they didn't scare me away.
no, and
Oh,
we
we're
really
still here.
tried.
Great.
We put some effort into scaring.
Come on,
Matt
we're all
away.
here for
Still
this.
came back, so, Matt, the unbearable 73, my brother. What do you have coming up?
The power of scissors compel you to go to my
God
channel.
damn it, Matt.
So I just got my
Scissor me
You know you
timbers.
love it. You know you love it. Sorry, Matt.
That's a little tough with the Canadian haze, making it tough to breathe in New Jersey here.
Oh,
Made it
wow.
a little tough. The moral of the story is don't set Canada on fire. Anyway,
Fair.
like I got my episode 3 and 4 of From are up today.
So I need to ask you, Matt. I'm not familiar with that show. Can you give me like a 30-second premise?
It's a horror TV show where people are, I guess, kidnapped while they're traveling by a mysterious force that takes them to this town that they can't escape from.
Okay, sounds interesting.
Cool.
Sounds up
Um,
right up my alley, honestly.
It is very well done, characters. But anyway, my reviews are up for the first 4 episodes so far. I'll be caught up. I'm on vacation, so I'll be caught up by the end of the weekend because they're up to the 8th episode is broadcasting on Sunday.
Okay, right on.
I'll be doing the. I forgot to do the final 2 episodes of the Bleach episodes that have been released so far in the current season. So I'll get those out. I want, if I have my druthers, there's a TV show called Warrior, which had 2 seasons out a couple years ago.
I want to watch that.
Cinemax. The
Salty
third
Nerd has
season
been
being released this summer. The
doing
trailer
that-
is out
that
now.
show.
Yeah.
Cool.
What else am I doing? That's the major stuff. There's always obviously when Roman, I guessed on Roman's show when he needs me. Always filling Sylvie in my head, that type of stuff. That's pretty much it.
Right on.
Trapped in New Jersey.
On Saturday, I plan on being with PJ Maybe for Let's Talk Geeky at 12 Pacific Standard. And on Sunday, I should be over on Comic and Cosmetics doing Comics for Humanity. It's like Cards for Humanity, except weird and twisted. That's going to be at 5 Pacific Standard. So that's, even if I'm not there because of reasons, the show should be weird and fantastic. So I encourage you to go over there and take a look at it.
It'll be weird at least.
Also, if you haven't seen the film Nefarious, I highly encourage you to do so. I've watched it.
It's
twice.
that good.
It's that good. I loved it. I thought it was.
Yeah, I'll
really
be watching it this weekend.
Yeah, so it's available to rent on streaming media. You can't buy it yet. It may still be in theaters, but it's on streaming media right now. So it's still not on Amazon though, because Amazon has the ear of the devil, so they are not showing it yet, which is a little bit weird, but whatever. Anyway, so this has been
Roman
Empire.
On Rumble. You peaked at 13 people, as far as I can tell, watching on Rumble, with 6 people watching right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I know.
Don't forget to hit that Rumble button.
Like I said, I know we're in the slide right now. It's the end of the show. We've been on for a long time. People get sleepy. And everybody's also in Texas right now, which is the other thing. But you do what you're gonna do. So Rumble it's an experiment. Please, if you could take a look over there, subscribe. I'm trying to get this whole dual streaming thing down because that's what all the kids are doing. But thank you for tuning in. And if you're catching this on the rewatch, thank you again. And thank you to all my guests tonight, including that 70s rock fan who is I hate my life so much. You know that. Anyway, so thanks for tuning in tonight. We will see you next week. I have no idea what the show is going to be about, but we're going to do one anyway. So for now, this has been Roman of the Empire signing off. Be kind.
Toodles!